Charlie Morningstar had been trying to make a banner that said, "Welcome home," without it drooping on one side. It kept drooping. Vaggie stood on the hotel roof with her arms crossed, eyes narrowed at the street below, like the city was a problem she could glare into behaving. "You're wasting time," Vaggie said. "It's not wasting," Charlie said, tugging the string tighter. "It's mood. People need mood. They need safety." Charlie sighed and looked over the edge. Pentagram City was doing what it always did. Cars that should not work still worked. Neon signs flickered like they were tired. Demons yelled, laughed, fought, then laughed again. Was loud, messy, and cruel, and Charlie still wanted to fix it. Vaggie's voice softened, just a little. "I'm not saying don't try. I'm saying don't pretend we're not a target." "We're always a target," Charlie said. "That's why we keep trying anyway." A sound cut through the city noise. Not a siren, not a crash, not a scream. A clean, deep thrum, like a single note played too close to your chest. Charlie froze. Vaggie's hand went to her spear without thinking. Above the main street, the air split. It did not crack like glass. It did not burn like fire. It opened like a door that had always been there, and someone finally decided to use it. A thin line of bright white appeared, then widened. The light did not spill and fade like normal light. It stayed sharp, like it had edges. Charlie leaned forward. Vaggie?" "I see it," Vaggie said, voice tight. Something stepped out. A man. He looked wrong for this city. Not wrong like an angel. Not wrong like a monster. Just wrong like someone who did not belong to the rules everyone else followed. He wore a suit that looked expensive without trying to be flashy. His hair was neat. His face was calm. Not calm like safe. Calm like nothing here can truly bother me. He stood in the air for a half-second, then lowered to the street like the ground was politely meeting him. The bright door closed behind him. The air sealed with no smoke, no sparks, no leftover glow. Just normal hell again. The man looked around, taking in the city like it was a painting he didn't remember ordering. His eyes landed on a billboard with a screaming face on it. Then a bar sign shaped like a knife. Then a pile of broken bricks and broken bones. He sighed, almost amused. This hell is... He paused, as if searching for the nicest word. Loud. Charlie blinked. No, did he just... A demon with 3 arms and a grin too wide shoved through a group of onlookers. "Hey!" the demon shouted. "New guy! Nice suit! It's mine now!" 2 more demons moved in behind him. One held a jagged spear. The other held a gun that looked like it had been put together by someone angry at tools. The man did not flinch. He tilted his head, like he was listening to a song only he could hear. Then he asked, very politely, "Is this how you greet guests?" The 3-armed demon laughed and thrust the spear forward. The spear stopped. Not because the demon stopped. The spear itself stopped, frozen in the air like it had hit an invisible wall. The demon shoved harder. Nothing. The man glanced at the gun. The gun clicked. No bullet came out. The man lifted one hand and snapped his fingers. Only the weapons moved. The spear turned into dust that fell in a soft pile. The gun came apart into separate pieces, each part dropping straight down, gentle and harmless, like someone disassembling a toy. The demons stared. The 3-armed one tried to punch him. The man stepped to the side with barely any effort. His palm tapped the demon's chest once. The demon flew backward like he had been hit by a speeding truck, crashing through a parked car and landing in a heap. The other 2 demons ran. The man did not chase. He watched them go, then looked down at the dust pile where the spear had been. "Wasteful," he murmured, "but quick." Charlie's mouth was open. She didn't even notice until Vaggie hissed, Close your mouth. Charlie snapped it shut. Okay. That was something. That was a threat, Vaggie said. No, it was self-defense. It was effortless, Vaggie corrected. Effortless is worse. Charlie grabbed the edge of the roof. We should talk to him. Vaggie stared at her, like she'd suggested hugging a bomb. We don't know what he is. We don't know until we ask, Charlie said, already moving. Vaggie swore under her breath and followed. They hurried down the stairs and out the front doors. The street had formed a loose circle around the man. Some demons whispered. Some filmed. Some tried to act brave while standing far away. The man looked up at the hotel sign, then at the building itself, then at Charlie as she approached. His eyes narrowed a fraction. Not in anger, in interest. Charlie stopped a few feet away, hands raised in a friendly way. Hi. Welcome to the Hazbin Hotel. I'm Charlie. The man's gaze flicked over her horns, onto her posture, her smile that was a little too bright because she was nervous. Then the crowd murmured. Princess. Boss's kid. Is that? Charlie swallowed. She hated how the city treated her like a symbol first and a person second. Then someone in the crowd said the word that made Charlie's stomach drop. King. Another voice, louder. The king of hell. Charlie turned fast. A demon pointed at the man, shaking. It's him. Look. It's Lucifer. Charlie's heart kicked hard. She stared at the man's face again, searching for the one she knew. The one from paintings and old memories. The one who was charming and messy, and sometimes sad when he thought no one could see. This man was charming, yes, but he was not her dad. Still, the word hit Charlie anyway, and her mouth moved before her brain could stop it. Son, Dad? The man looked at her like she'd asked him if the sky was orange. Then he smiled, slow and careful. No, he said gently. I'm not your father. Charlie's cheeks heated. I'm sorry. People just said, I heard what they said, the man replied. His eyes moved to the crowd. The street went quiet in a way it never should. He spoke again, voice soft but sharp. Tell me something. No one answered. No one breathed. The man looked back at Charlie. Why does everyone here think I belong to a throne? Charlie swallowed. Because we do have a Lucifer. He's my dad, the king of hell. The man's smile widened, like that was a joke the universe had set up just for him. Well, he said, that is going to be awkward. Vaggie stepped forward, spear angled down but ready. You're coming inside. If you try anything. The man's gaze slid to her spear, then back to her face. His smile did not change, but the air felt heavier. I'm not here to rule, he said, and I don't enjoy threats. Vaggie held his stare anyway. Neither do I. Charlie jumped in fast, voice bright. Inside, yes! We can talk inside, please, it's safer, and you can explain. And also we have chairs. The man glanced at the hotel doors, like he was considering whether the building was worth the time. Then he nodded once. Very well, he said. Lead the way, princess. Charlie flinched at the title, but she led them in anyway. As the door shut behind them, the street noise came back all at once, louder than before. And above the city, far beyond any demon's sight, something in heaven's order shifted, like a file had been opened that did not exist yesterday. No, the lobby smelled like old carpet, fresh paint, and stubborn hope. Charlie walked ahead, trying not to look like she was panicking. She was not panicking. She was simply dealing with a mysterious stranger who might be stronger than anyone she had ever seen, who looked like he belonged in a different world, and who shared her father's name. Okay. Maybe she was panicking a little. Vaggie stayed half a step behind her, spear still in hand. Her posture was controlled, but her mind was racing. Protect Charlie. Protect the hotel. Figure out what he is. If he is a threat, remove him. Vaggie had learned the hard way that wait and see got people hurt. Angel Dust leaned over the front desk, eyes wide. Char, who's your fancy friend?" Husk was on a nearby couch with a bottle, squinting like he was trying to decide if he was too sober for this. Nifty zipped in circles, practically vibrating. New guest. Do we have rules? I can make rules." Alastair was not in the room. That fact alone made Vaggie more nervous. Charlie stopped near the middle of the lobby and turned around. "Okay," she said, forcing a smile. "So, welcome. Again." The man took his time walking in. He looked at the walls, the little motivational posters. The "Redemption Starts Here" sign that Charlie had put up herself. His expression was polite, but Charlie could tell he was judging it the way people judged an idea that might fail. His eyes settled on Charlie. "You are running a rehabilitation project." "Yes," Charlie said quickly. "It's a hotel, but it's also a program. People can improve. They can change. They can choose," the man said, like he was testing the word. Charlie blinked. "Yes, exactly." Vaggie stepped in before Charlie could ramble harder. "Name." The man's eyes flicked to Vaggie. "Names are important here," he said. "They're important everywhere," Vaggie snapped. He gave a small, pleased hum, like he respected her spine even if he disliked her tone. "Lucifer," he said. Angel Dust made a choking sound. "Oh, come on." Husk sat up a little. "Nope," he muttered. "Not doing this." Charlie's heart squeezed again, but she kept her face steady. "Lucifer." "What?" The man's smile returned, faint. "Morningstar." Silence hit the room like a dropped weight. Charlie's mind jumped. Morningstar. That wasn't what she called her dad. Not usually. It sounded older, like a title from a book. Vaggie's grip tightened on her spear. "Prove it," she said. Lucifer Morningstar looked at her. "How?" Vaggie lifted her chin. "Anything. Anything that tells me what you are and why you look like you belong to our king." Lucifer's eyes moved across the room. He did not look impressed by the weapon. He looked impressed by the courage behind it. "Very well," he said. He raised his hand and pointed at a cracked vase on a table near the wall. The vase had been broken for weeks. Charlie kept meaning to fix it. Lucifer snapped his fingers. The vase repaired itself, but not just repaired. The missing pieces returned from nowhere. The paint on it became new again. Even the dust on the table vanished. Nifty gasped. "He cleaned!" Lucifer lowered his hand. "Small things are easy," he said. Charlie stared. "That's magic." "That is one word for it," Lucifer replied. Angel Dust leaned in, voice low, like he was sharing gossip. "Okay, Mr. Morningstar, if you're so fancy, what are you doing here? Tourist trip?" Lucifer's eyes slid to Angel Dust. "I was somewhere else," he said. "Then I was here." "That's not an answer," Angel said. "It is the only honest one," Lucifer replied. Charlie stepped forward, careful. "Do you know who brought you here?" Lucifer paused, and for the first time, his calm looked less like boredom and more like irritation. "No," he said, "but I intend to find out." Vaggie's eyes sharpened. "You don't know, so you're uncontrolled." Lucifer's gaze flicked back to her. "No one controls me." The way he said it made the temperature in the room feel like it dropped. Not with cold, with warning. Charlie raised her hands quickly. Okay, no control, got it. We're not trying to control you." Vaggie looked like she wanted to say, "I am." Charlie continued, voice softer. "Can you tell us about yourself? Like, where you're from?" Lucifer took a breath that sounded almost like a sigh. Then he spoke in clean, simple beats, like he was laying down facts on a table. "I have been called an angel," he said, "and a devil, and worse." Charlie listened, heart pounding. "I do not enjoy heaven's rules," Lucifer continued. "I do not enjoy hell's chains. I prefer choice." Vaggy's brow twitched, the word again. "I do not take thrones," Lucifer said. "I leave them." Charlie's eyes widened. "You left your throne?" Lucifer's smile returned, a little sharper. "I refuse to be a symbol that others could use." Angel Dust snorted. "Wish I had that option." Husk gave Angel a look, and Angel looked away fast. Lucifer's gaze lingered on Angel Dust for a moment, like he had noticed the pain under the jokes. Then he looked back at Charlie. "You are trying to redeem souls," he said. "Yes," Charlie said, almost pleading. "It's possible. I know it is." Lucifer's face softened in a way that was hard to trust. "Possible," he agreed, "but not simple." Vaggy stepped closer. "And what do you want?" Lucifer looked at her, like she was the only person in the room asking the right question. "I want answers," he said. "And until I have them, I want a place where I can observe." Charlie's voice came out before Vaggy could say no. "You can stay." Vaggy snapped her head toward Charlie. "Charlie!" Charlie held her ground. "If he's here, and heaven notices, and overlords notice, then he'll be a target. And if he's a target, the city becomes a battlefield. If he stays with us, we can at least guide this." Vaggy's jaw tightened. "Or we paint a big sign on our hotel that says, 'Kill us first.'" Lucifer's expression did not change, but Charlie had the feeling he was enjoying the debate, like it proved they were real. Charlie turned to him. "If you stay," she said, "there are rules." Lucifer raised an eyebrow. "Rules?" Charlie swallowed. "Yes. Like, no hurting people in the hotel, no forcing deals, no scaring guests on purpose, and—" Lucifer held up one finger. "Interesting," he said. "You want consent." Charlie blinked. "Well, yes, obviously." Lucifer's smile grew. "Good," he said. "Then we will have an agreement." Vaggy's eyes narrowed. "We're not making a deal with you." Lucifer looked at her, still calm. "Everything is a deal," he said. "You simply pretend it isn't." He turned to Charlie. "I will not harm your guests," he said. "I will not bind anyone to me. I will not take what is not offered." Angel Dust pointed at him. "So you're like the polite kind of scary." Lucifer's eyes flicked to Angel. "I try." Charlie exhaled. "Okay. Great. Then." Lucifer lifted his hand again, like a teacher about to correct a student. "One condition," he said. Vaggy's spear rose a fraction. "No." Lucifer ignored her. He looked at Charlie. "If you wish me to act," he said, "you ask. You do not order. You do not assume." Charlie nodded slowly. "That's fair." Vaggy stared at Charlie like she could not believe what she was hearing. Lucifer's smile returned, almost playful. "And you will not lie to me," he added, "not even with good intentions." Charlie hesitated. Then she nodded again. "Okay." Lucifer leaned forward a little. "Then we have terms." Nifty darted between them with a pen and paper, like she'd been waiting her whole life for this. "Sign it." Charlie blinked. "Nifty, where did you get that?" Nifty grinned. "I always have paper." Lucifer accepted the paper like it was normal. He did not write with ink. He touched the paper, and clean words appeared, dark and neat. Charlie could read them easily, like they were meant to be understood, not hidden. Vaggy leaned over Charlie's shoulder, scanning fast. No traps, no hidden threats, no soul belongs to me nonsense. It looked fair. That fact made Vaggy even more uneasy. Charlie signed. The moment she did, the paper warmed for a second. then cooled. Lucifer folded it once and handed it back to Charlie like a receipt. Angel Dust whistled. Wow. Our princess just signed a contract with a hot stranger. This place is getting spicy. Charlie's face went red. Angel. Lucifer looked amused. He is correct about one thing, he said. This place is interesting. Husk muttered. That's not comfort. Charlie tried to steer the moment. We can set you up in a room, she said, and we can talk more later. And maybe you can meet my dad, our Lucifer. Because this whole name thing is... Lucifer's eyes sharpened at the word, meet. Yes, he said softly. I think I would like that. Vaggie stepped between them again. Not until we understand what you are. Lucifer's gaze locked on her. You understand enough, he said. You fear what you cannot plan for. Vaggie did not back down. I plan anyway. Lucifer's smile widened, almost approving. Good, he said. Jan, then plan for this. He walked past her, smooth and unhurried, like the spear did not exist. Vaggie watched him go, every muscle tight. Charlie followed, trying to keep her voice bright. Room 3B is open. As Lucifer climbed the stairs, the lights in the hotel flickered once, not like a power outage, like something far away had noticed the address. High above, beyond hell's ceiling, a record that tracked Holy Order pulsed with a new mark. A mark that did not match any known soul. A mark that should not be possible. A voice in heaven, cold and firm, spoke to Adam. An anomaly has entered the lower realm. Adam grinned like a kid handed a new toy. Finally, he said, something fun. The order continued, calm as a knife. Do not treat it lightly. Adam flexed his hands. Relax, it's hell. I do what I want. The voice did not change. This one may not obey your world's rules. Adam's grin widened. Then I'll make new rules. The next day, Charlie forced herself to act normal. She made a schedule. She set up chairs. She put out forms titled Redemption Goals with little smiley faces. She refused to let fear run her hotel. Still, the city felt different. People outside whispered more than usual. Some demons stood too still, watching the hotel doors like they expected them to explode. Vaggie did not stop moving. She checked the windows, the exits, the roof, the storage room where they kept anything sharp, holy, or dangerous. Angel Dust tried to flirt with Lucifer at breakfast and got a calm response that somehow shut him down without insulting him. Husk tried to ignore Lucifer and failed because Lucifer kept asking short questions like, "So, why do you drink?" in a tone that made it sound like an actual question, not a joke. Nifty tried to clean Lucifer's shoes. Lucifer gently told her no, and she looked offended, then delighted, because it was mysterious. Alastair appeared around noon. He walked into the lobby like he owned it. Smile wide, eyes bright, voice smooth and cheerful. "My dear friends," he sang, "and what a delightful surprise I find in your humble establishment." Charlie forced a smile. "Hi, Alastair." Vaggie did not smile at all. Lucifer sat in a chair with his legs crossed, hands folded, watching Alastair like a person watching a snake dance. Alastair's gaze landed on Lucifer and stayed there a half-second too long. His smile did not change, but something in his eyes sharpened. "Well now," Alastair said lightly, "you have a guest who carries quite the... Wait." Lucifer tilted his head. "And you carry quite the... hunger," he replied. Alastair laughed, delighted. "Oh, I like you already." Vaggie stepped forward. "He's not here for you." Alastair spread his hands. Of course. I merely wish to greet your newest." He paused, eyes glinting. "Mystery." Charlie jumped in. "Lucifer is staying for now." Alastair's smile widened. "Lucifer," he repeated, tasting the name like candy. Lucifer's voice stayed calm. Lucifer Morningstar. Alastair's eyes flickered for the first time. Not fear. Not shock. Something like interest mixed with caution. "Oh," Alastair said softly, still smiling. "How fascinating." He leaned closer, as if sharing a secret with the room. "You must understand, my dear," he said to Charlie. "Now our hell already has a Lucifer." "I know," Charlie said quickly. Alastair's eyes turned to Lucifer. "So," he said, still light, "are you a copy? A disguise? A joke?" Lucifer's smile was small. "No," he said. "I am myself," Alastair chuckled. "And yet you wear a name that belongs to a king." Lucifer shrugged slightly. "Names belong to those who live up to them," he said. Vaggy's spear tip tapped the floor once. A warning. Alastair pretended not to notice. "Perhaps," he said sweetly, "we should have a little arrangement. A partnership." Charlie's stomach dropped. "Alastair." Alastair held up a hand. "Not for ownership, dear. Simply for mutual benefit. I offer information. You offer help." Lucifer's eyes met Alastair's, steady and flat. "No tricks," Lucifer said. Alastair's smile did not move. "Tricks?" he echoed, voice innocent. Lucifer leaned forward. "If you want something," he said, "ask directly." Alastair's eyes glittered. "Very well," he said. "I want to know what you are, and I want to know what you will do to this city." Lucifer nodded once. "Better," he said. "I will answer one thing." Alastair waited, like a host giving a guest room to speak. Lucifer's voice stayed simple. "I am not here to rule," he said. "I am not here to save. I am here because someone moved me." Alastair's smile sharpened. "And what will you do?" he asked. "If you find who moved you?" Lucifer's eyes went dark for a moment, like a storm behind glass. "I will speak to them," he said. Alastair laughed lightly. "Such restraint," Vaggy muttered. "I don't like him." Charlie whispered back. "Which one?" Vaggy did not answer. Lucifer's gaze turned toward Charlie. You said your father is also named Lucifer," he said. Charlie nodded. "Yes." Lucifer's tone stayed casual, but Charlie felt how serious it was underneath. "Where is he?" Charlie hesitated. "He's not here. Not at the hotel. He's busy. He doesn't come out much." Lucifer leaned back. "So the king does not greet his daughter's guests," he said. Charlie's cheeks heated. "It's complicated." Lucifer looked at her for a long moment. "Yes," he said quietly. "It is." Alastair clapped his hands once. "Well," he said brightly, "until the family reunion, perhaps I can be of assistance." Vaggy's voice was sharp. "We don't need you." Alastair grinned. "Everyone needs someone," he said. "Even if they don't admit it." He turned to Lucifer. "If you seek information," he said, "I have it. Names, places, patterns." Lucifer's eyes narrowed slightly. "And the price?" he asked. Alastair's smile was perfect. "A simple favor," he said. Lucifer's smile returned, small and cold. "No," he said. Alastair blinked once. It was almost imperceptible. "You refuse before hearing it?" "I refuse because you enjoyed the taking," Lucifer said, "and you will take more than you admit." Alastair's grin did not falter. "How rude," he said lightly. "And how accurate." Charlie's heart pounded. She expected Alastair to lash out. Instead, Alastair chuckled and stepped back, hands raised. "Very well," he said. "No deal today." He leaned toward Charlie, voice warm. "Do be careful, my dear. A guest like this attracts attention." Vaggy's eyes flicked up at the ceiling. As if on cue, the lights flickered again. Not a normal flicker. A hard, white pulse, like a flash of distant lightning. Lucifer felt it too. His gaze went still. Charlie swallowed. "That happens sometimes," she lied. Lucifer looked at her. "No," he said gently. "It does not." Outside, the city's noise shifted. Screams started, far away, then closer. A harsh horn blasted from the sky. Vaggy's blood ran cold. She knew that sound. Charlie's face went pale. "Exorcists," Charlie whispered. Angel Dust poked his head out the window and yelled, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me! It's not even the usual time!" Husk stood up, bottle forgotten. "Why now?" he growled. Lucifer rose from his chair, smooth and unhurried. "Because something has changed," he said. Vaggy pointed her spear at him without thinking. "Did you do this?" Lucifer glanced at her, almost offended. "If I had done this," he said, "you would not be wondering." Charlie stepped between them. "Stop," she said. "We don't have time." Another scream, another horn. Then the sky outside turned white. Vaggy hit the roof first. The air above Pentagram City was splitting with bright streaks. Not portals like Lucifer's. These were violent, sharp, like cuts. Figures dropped from the light, falling fast, then slowing just enough to land with heavy thuds. Exorcists. Their armor shone like polished bone and gold. Their masks were blank and cruel. Their weapons glowed with holy light that made the air sting. This was the purge. But wrong. Too early. Too focused. Too close. Vaggy's eyes tracked their landing points. They were not spreading out across the city like usual. They were moving toward the Hazbin Hotel. Charlie stepped onto the roof behind her, breathing fast. Her hands shook, but her eyes were determined. Angel Dust climbed up after them, guns in hand, grinning like he was trying to convince himself this was fun. "Well," he said, "at least we got company." Husk came slower, carrying a box of weapons he hated touching. "This is bad," he muttered. Nifty popped up from the stairwell with a tiny knife. "I can stab ankles." "Stay back," Vaggy snapped, then softened. "Please." Alastair appeared last, standing at the roof edge like this was a show he had paid for. His smile looked brighter in the holy light. "Oh," he said, voice delighted. "They came for the hotel." Charlie swallowed hard. "They came for me." Vaggy's voice was low. "No," she said. "They came for him." A shadow moved across the rooftop. Lucifer stepped out onto the roof as if he was stepping onto a balcony at a party. He looked up at the descending exorcists with mild interest. Charlie's voice came out small. "Lucifer, do you know them?" "I know the type," Lucifer said. A spear of holy light crashed into the street below, exploding into white flame. Demons screamed and ran. Exorcists moved like a team that had trained for one purpose: erase. Vaggy pointed. "They're heading straight here." Charlie clenched her fists. "We have to protect the people around us, not just the hotel." Angel Dust laughed, sharp and nervous. "Princess, I love the heart, but we're about to get turned into dust," Husk muttered. "Maybe we should let them take him." Charlie spun on him, shocked. "Husk?" Husk flinched, then glared back. "I'm not proud of it," he said. "I'm being real." Lucifer looked at Husk, not angry, just observing. Then Lucifer looked at Charlie. "You want to protect them," he said. Charlie nodded. Yes." Lucifer's gaze flicked to the street where demons were fleeing, pushing each other down, trying to live. "Do you want me to intervene?" Lucifer asked. Charlie blinked. "What?" His tone stayed calm, almost careful. "If I act," he said, "they will blame you. They will say the hotel has a weapon. They will fear you more." Charlie's throat tightened. "They already feared us," Vaggy hissed. "Charlie, don't." Charlie stepped closer to Lucifer, eyes bright with fear and hope mixed together. "Please," she said, "help me save them." Lucifer held her gaze. Then he nodded once. "As you wish," he said. Simple as that. He stepped off the roof. He did not fall. He simply moved downward, as if the air was stairs. Vaggy's stomach lurched. Even now it looked unreal. Lucifer landed on the street in front of the hotel. The exorcists were closing in from above, spears raised, blades glowing. A group of demons were trapped between the hotel and the attackers. One small demon slipped and couldn't get up fast enough. An exorcist aimed. Lucifer lifted one hand. The spear stopped in midair. The exorcist pulled hard. The spear would not move. Lucifer flicked his fingers. The spear's holy glow faded, like a light being switched off. The metal turned dull. Then it cracked and fell apart into harmless pieces. The exorcist stared at the broken weapon like it had betrayed them. Lucifer stepped forward, eyes calm. "No," he said, voice quiet. "Not that." The exorcist lunged anyway, drawing a blade. Lucifer moved his hand again. The exorcist's feet lifted off the ground, not thrown, not slammed. Lifted, like gravity had been politely told to stop holding them. So then Lucifer set them down 10 feet away, facing the opposite direction. The exorcist stumbled, disoriented. Lucifer did the same to the next one, and the next. He was not fighting like a warrior. He was rearranging the battlefield like a person moving pieces on a board. Above, Charlie watched with her hands pressed to the roof edge, mouth open. Angel Dust whispered, "Holy." "Wow," Husk muttered. "That's cheating." Alastair's smile widened. "That's art," he said, voice pleased. Vaggy's eyes narrowed. "It's power," she corrected. "And attention." More exorcists dropped. Some aimed at Lucifer. Some aimed at the hotel. A spear of holy light shot toward the building. Charlie reacted without thinking. She threw up a shield, red and gold, like a dome. The spear struck it and burst into sparks. Charlie flinched, but held. Vaggy moved. She launched off the roof and down a fire escape, landing hard and running toward the front. She was not God tier. She knew it. So she did what she always did. She picked a target, found an angle, and struck fast. An exorcist tried to flank Lucifer from behind. Vaggy hit them at the knee with her spear, then drove the butt of it into their chest, forcing them back. The exorcist swung a blade. Vaggy ducked, rolled, and kicked their ankle. The exorcist fell. Vaggy didn't kill them. She pinned them with the spear and shouted, "Move! Get away from the hotel!" Demons ran past her, screaming. Angel Dust and Husk moved too. Angel fired at exorcists to distract them, not to win. Husk covered the doorway, dragging a demon child inside when it froze in fear. Nifty popped out of the door and stabbed an exorcist's boot. "Ankles!" she yelled. Vaggy screamed, "Nifty! Inside!" Nifty giggled and darted back in. Lucifer turned his head slightly, taking it all in. His gaze landed on Charlie's shield. Her hands were shaking. Her jaw was clenched. She was trying so hard. Something in Lucifer's expression shifted. Not warmth exactly, but respect. Then a new sound hit the street. A laugh. Loud. Proud. Annoying. A figure dropped from the sky like he owned it, landing on a car and denting it with his boots. Adam. His armor shone brighter than the others. His wings were wide. His weapon hummed with holy force like it wanted to sing. He looked around at the panic and smiled like this was fun. Then he saw Lucifer. Adam's grin stretched. "There you are," he said. Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "Hello," he replied. Adam hopped down from the car, rolling his shoulders. "You're not on the list," he said. "And I don't like surprises." Lucifer's voice stayed calm. "Then stop being surprised," he said. Adam laughed again. "Oh, I like you. You've got attitude." Vaggy's heart pounded. She had fought exorcists before, but Adam was different. He moved like a leader who knew he could win most fights here. He pointed his weapon at Lucifer. "Kneel," Adam commanded. The word hit the air like a hammer. Some demons nearby dropped to their knees without meaning to, like their bodies obeyed before their minds could argue. Charlie gasped on the roof. "No!" Lucifer did not move. Adam's grin faltered for the first time. "Kneel," he said again, louder. Lucifer's eyes stayed steady. "No," he replied. The air around Lucifer felt heavier, like reality itself was paying attention. Adam's smile returned, forced. "Okay," he said. "We're doing it this way." Adam lunged forward, weapon swinging down with a bright arc. Lucifer lifted one hand. The blade stopped inches from his face, not blocked by muscle, not blocked by metal. Stopped by a rule Lucifer decided was true. Lucifer's fingers closed gently around the glowing weapon. Holy light flared, trying to burn him. Lucifer looked bored. Then he twisted his wrist. The weapon's glow sputtered. Adam's eyes widened. "Hey!" Lucifer let go. The weapon fell from Adam's hands and hit the ground with a dull clank, like it was just metal now. The street went quiet for one stunned second. Then Adam snarled, rage flashing through his cocky face. His wings snapped out wider. "You don't get to do that," Adam spat. Lucifer tilted his head. "I just did," he said. Adam surged forward with a punch aimed at Lucifer's jaw. Lucifer did not dodge. He caught Adam's fist. The impact still cracked the pavement under Lucifer's feet, because Adam was strong. But Lucifer's body did not move back even an inch. Lucifer's eyes stayed calm. "You're used to being the biggest hammer," he said. Adam tried to yank his fist free. He couldn't. Lucifer leaned in slightly. "This world is small," Lucifer continued, voice low enough that only Adam could hear. "Do not confuse that with you being important." Adam's face twisted. He pulled with all his strength. His wing muscles flexed. His armor creaked. Lucifer still held him. Then Lucifer released Adam's fist and stepped to the side. Adam stumbled forward. Lucifer tapped Adam's shoulder. Adam flew backward, smashing through a wall and into the lobby of a nearby building. Charlie cried out, "Oh my gosh!" Angel Dust whistled. "Okay, that's a knockout." Husk muttered, "Not dead, just embarrassed." Alastair chuckled. "Oh, he will hate that." Vaggy's stomach nodded. "He's going to come back worse," she whispered. She was right. The wall exploded outward. Adam burst back through, eyes blazing, face red with fury. He didn't look like he was having fun anymore. He looked like he wanted to make a point. Adam raised his hand, and the sky above him flashed. A line of holy light formed like a spear the size of a street lamp. He aimed it not at Lucifer. He aimed it at the hotel. Charlie's blood ran cold. Vaggy shouted, "Charlie!" Charlie pushed her shield down toward the front wall, trying to cover the hotel, but she was too slow. The spear was already moving. Lucifer moved. He did not run. He simply appeared between the spear and the building, like distance had stopped being a problem. The spear hit his palm. The impact boomed through the street. Windows shattered in a wave. Demons screamed. Lucifer's suit sleeve tore at the cuff. A thin line of bright heat marked his skin. Charlie's eyes widened. That was the first time she'd seen anything touch him. Adam saw it too. His grin came back, sharp and mean. "Ha!" he shouted. "You bleed!" Lucifer looked at the mark on his hand like it was mildly annoying. Then he looked at Adam. His voice stayed calm, but the air around him tightened, like a rope being pulled. "Yes," Lucifer said, "so don't miss next time." Adam's grin flickered. Lucifer raised his injured hand and opened his fingers. The spear of holy light did not explode. It unraveled, not into fire, into thin strands that faded into nothing, like someone pulling apart a rope and letting it disappear. Adam's eyes widened again. He lifted both hands, calling more light. Lucifer sighed. He snapped his fingers. The street went silent. Not because sound stopped everywhere, because every exorcist weapon in the area went dull at once, like a switch had been turned off. Exorcists froze mid-swing, staring at their blades and spears. Some tried to call the holy glow back. It didn't return. Adam's face twisted. "No," he snarled. "No, no, no!" Lucifer's voice was soft and clear. "You came into my space," he said. Adam spat. "This is hell. This is my space." Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "You misunderstand," he replied. "I mean the space between choices." Adam didn't understand what that meant, but he felt the danger in it. Lucifer lifted his hand and pointed at Adam like he was choosing where Adam belonged. Adam's wings jerked. His body lifted off the ground, forced upward without control. Adam flailed, furious. "Put me down." Lucifer didn't. He floated Adam 10 feet up, then 20, then held him there like a pinned insect. Adam's exorcists looked up, confused and angry, but they didn't move. Without their weapons glowing, they were suddenly in a world where demons could fight back. Vaggie took the chance. "Push them back," she shouted. Angel dust opened fire, not to kill, but to force exorcists to dodge. Husk threw a heavy object like a bowling ball straight into an exorcist's chest, knocking it off balance. Charlie ran down the stairs and into the street, her shield flaring again as she shouted, "Get inside!" Everyone inside! Demons poured into the hotel, some shocked that the princess was helping them, some too scared to care. Alastair watched with bright eyes, like he was studying every move Lucifer made for future use. Lucifer kept Adam suspended. Adam's face was purple with rage. He pointed at Lucifer and yelled, You can't just rewrite this." Lucifer looked up at him. "I can," he said. "But I won't do it for you." Adam screamed and forced his wings to beat hard enough to strain. Holy light flickered around him, not in his weapon, but in his body. For a second, the air around Adam vibrated with authority. Something deep in heaven's system answered him. A thin ring of bright light appeared above Adam's head, like a halo being forged on the spot. Then another ring formed around Lucifer's wrist, faint but real, like a tag. Lucifer's eyes sharpened, so heaven could mark him. Not hurt him, not yet. But mark him. Adam's grin returned, sweaty and desperate. "Gotcha," he hissed. Lucifer stared at the glowing ring on his wrist. Charlie saw it and felt her stomach drop. "Lucifer," Lucifer's voice stayed calm but colder. "So that's your plan," he said, almost to himself. "Not strength, structure." Adam laughed from the air. "You think you're special? Heaven has rules for everything." Lucifer looked up at Adam. "Everything?" he asked. Adam's laughter faltered. Lucifer raised his marked wrist. The ring glowed brighter, trying to tighten, trying to lock. Lucifer didn't fight it like it was a chain. He treated it like a sentence someone wrote about him that he did not agree to. He spoke one word, quiet and clear. "No." The ring cracked, not shattered with force. Cracked like a bad promise. It split and faded. For a moment, the sky flashed in response, like heaven itself flinched. Adam's eyes went wide. "What?" Lucifer lowered his hand. He released Adam from the air. Adam dropped, landing hard on his feet, armor denting the pavement. Adam looked around. His exorcists were being pushed back. Demons were regrouping. The hotel still stood. And his best trick, his mark, had failed. Adam's face twisted into something ugly. He wanted to keep fighting. Vaggie could see it in his posture. Charlie could feel it in her bones. But Adam also understood one simple fact. He could not win this cleanly. Not today. Adam bared his teeth. "This isn't over," he snarled. Lucifer's expression did not change. "It rarely is," he replied. Adam slammed his fist into the air, and a bright tear opened above him. Exorcists began retreating into it, dragging injured allies. Adam backed toward the tear, eyes locked on Lucifer like he wanted to burn the image into memory. Then Adam's gaze flicked to Charlie. His grin returned, sharp and cruel. "Nice hotel," he called. "Would be a shame if Hope got people killed." Charlie's chest tightened. Adam stepped into the light and vanished. The tear sealed behind him, leaving the sky dark again. The street was a wreck. Broken cars, cracked pavement, scattered holy dust. Blood that steamed where it touched the ground. Demons stood frozen, staring at the hotel, at Charlie, at Lucifer. Some looked grateful. Most looked terrified. Vaggie walked up beside Charlie, breathing hard, spear lowered but ready. Charlie looked at Lucifer, voice small. "Thank you," she said. Lucifer looked down at his hand, and at the faint burn mark left behind. Then he looked at the hotel, at the people inside it, at Charlie's face. "You asked," he said simply. "So I acted." Angel Dust leaned out of the doorway. "So, does this mean we're, protected now?" Husk muttered. "Or famous?" Alaster's smile gleamed. "Oh, we're more than famous," he said softly. "We're interesting." Vaggie didn't look at Alastor. She stared at Lucifer. "You broke their weapons like they were toys," she said, "and they still marked you." Lucifer's eyes stayed calm. "Yes," he replied. Charlie's voice trembled. "What does that mean?" Lucifer looked up at the sky, as if he could see through the ceiling of hell into the system above. "It means," he said, "that this world is now on a schedule it did not choose." He looked back at Charlie. "And it means," he added, "they will try to make you regret asking for help." Charlie swallowed hard, then lifted her chin. "Then we don't let them," she said. Lucifer studied her for a moment, like he was deciding whether her courage was brave or foolish. Then his mouth curved into a small smile. "Good," he said. Around them, the city kept watching, because now everyone knew one thing for sure. A stranger had arrived in hell, and hell had changed shape around him. Vox did not like surprises. He liked clean lines, clean numbers, clean stories that could be cut into clips and fed to the city until everyone believed the same thing. A second Lucifer in hell was not a clean story. It was a mess. Vox stood in his tall, bright room, surrounded by screens that showed the street outside the Hazbin hotel. The footage was shaky. The sound was full of screams. But the main part was clear. A man in a fine suit, calm eyes, one hand up, exorcist weapons turning dull like cheap toys. Adam being tossed through a wall like a joke. Vox's smile tightened until it looked painted on. Velvet lounged on a couch behind him, kicking her legs like she owned the place. "This is insane," she said. "This is like main character energy." Valentino paced, chewing on a toothpick, angry because fear was not his favorite flavor. "He's bad for business," Valentino muttered. "If the city thinks there's a bigger king, everyone starts acting weird." Vox tapped the side of his head, screen face flickering as he ran numbers. "They already are acting weird," he said. "Look," he snapped his fingers, and the screens changed. Demons outside were arguing. Some were bowing toward the hotel like it was holy ground. Some were throwing bottles at it. Some were just watching, eyes wide. Vox's voice stayed smooth, but it had steel under it. The Hazbin Hotel invited him in. That's the story. That's the angle. We make the hotel the problem. Velvet's eyes gleamed. "We make it trendy," she said. "Then we make it toxic." Valentino laughed. "And then we sell the antidote." Vox nodded once. "Exactly." He pulled up a fresh screen and watched Charlie help injured demons into the hotel. She looked tired. She looked scared, but she was still smiling at people like she meant it. Vox hated that smile, because it made people think maybe they didn't have to be monsters forever. He leaned closer to the screen. "Hope is a product," Vox said softly, "and she's handing it out for free." Velvet sat up. "So what do we do?" she asked. "Try to buy him? Or smear him?" Vox's smile returned, sharper. "Both," he said. "First we find out what he wants. Then we give him a better offer than the princess can. If he refuses, we make him the reason she fails." Valentino pointed at the screen. "What if he just snaps us into dust?" Vox's screen face flashed a quick grin. "Then we do not meet him alone," he said. "We meet him with rules." He turned to another monitor. A symbol glowed on it. A holy mark pattern, recorded from the air when Heaven tried to tag the stranger's wrist. Vox's voice went quiet with excitement. "Heaven tried to label him," he said. "That means even Heaven can't ignore him." Velvet leaned in. "And?" Vox tapped the symbol. "And it means," he said, "there are systems above us that can be used." Valentino frowned. "You're talking like an angel." Vox's smile didn't move. "So I'm talking like a winner," he replied. Outside, the city kept shaking, but inside Vox's tower, a plan started to take shape. A plan that did not need to beat the stranger in a fight. It only needed to turn the city against the hotel. Charlie's arms ached from lifting broken chairs and helping demons limp up the stairs. The lobby looked like it had survived a storm. A wall had cracks in it. Glass was everywhere. Nifty was sweeping so fast, she looked like a blur. Husk was dragging a heavy table to block a broken window, grumbling the whole time. Angel Dust sat on the edge of the front desk, wrapping a bandage around his arm. He kept making jokes that were slightly too loud. Vaggie watched the front doors like they might bite, and Lucifer Morningstar stood in the middle of it all, calm as ever, looking at the mess like it was a lesson. Charlie wiped sweat off her forehead and faced him. "You saved people," she said. "You really did." Lucifer's eyes flicked to a demon in the corner who was shaking and crying because their friend had not made it inside. "Some," he corrected. Charlie's throat tightened. "I know, I thought the purge was later. It's always later. Why did they come early?" Lucifer's gaze lifted, like he could see through the ceiling. "Because I am here," he said. Charlie hugged her arms around herself. "So it's my fault," she whispered. Lucifer looked at her. "No," he said, simple and sharp. "It is their choice to attack. Do not take credit for their cruelty." Charlie blinked hard. "But I invited you inside. I asked you to help." Lucifer's voice softened just a fraction. "And you did what you thought was right," he said. "That is not a crime." Vaggie stepped in, eyes hard. "It's not a crime," she said. "But it is a risk. A huge one." Lucifer turned to her, unbothered. "Everything living is a risk," he said. Vaggie pointed toward the ruined street outside. "That wasn't living," she snapped. "That was slaughter, and it aimed at us." Lucifer's expression stayed calm, but Charlie noticed something in his eyes. Like Vaggie's fear was not annoying him, was registering. Charlie took a breath. "Okay," she said. "We need a plan." Angel Dust raised his bandaged arm. "Plan. We move to Hawaii," he said. "Do we have Hawaii in hell?" "We should." Husk muttered. "We have a puddle," Nifty zipped by. "We have bleach," Vaggie ignored them. "Plan as we lock down the hotel," she said. "We watch the roof. We set traps. We move Charlie to a safer room. We—" Charlie lifted her hands. "I'm not hiding," she said. Vaggie's eyes flashed. "Charlie." "No," Charlie insisted, voice shaking but firm. "People already think I'm a princess who plays pretend. If I hide when things get real, then they'll be right." Lucifer watched her like he was weighing the cost of her courage. Then Lucifer said, You want to win hearts? Charlie nodded. Yes. Lucifer tilted his head. Then you must accept that hearts do not obey force, he said. Not even yours. Charlie's face fell. I know, she whispered. I keep thinking if I had more power. Lucifer's gaze sharpened. Power is not the same as permission, he said. Charlie looked up at him. But you could stop them, she said. You could stop the purge forever. Lucifer didn't answer right away. The lobby felt quieter, even with Nifty sweeping and Angel joking. Finally, Lucifer spoke. If I stop them by removing their ability to choose, he said, then your hotel becomes a cage with nicer wallpaper. Charlie flinched. Lucifer's voice stayed even. You are trying to build something fragile, he continued. Trust, change, hope. Those things only mean anything when they can be rejected. Vaggie's jaw tightened like she wanted to argue, but couldn't find a clean way. Charlie's eyes burned. So we just let heaven kill us? She demanded. Lucifer looked at her, calm but not cold. No, he said. You defend, you resist, you survive, but you do not become what you hate. Charlie swallowed. Her hands trembled. She hated that his words made sense. Angel Dust hopped off the desk and walked closer, joking voice gone softer. So what are you saying? He asked. That redemption's a cute story, but hell's gonna stay hell? Lucifer looked at Angel Dust like he could see straight through him. It can change, Lucifer said, but not on a schedule, not by command, not by a speech. Angel's eyes narrowed. Then what? He asked. Lucifer's mouth curved slightly. By choice, he said. Husk snorted. Choice is overrated, he muttered, but his eyes stayed on Charlie, like he was checking if she was okay. Charlie forced herself to breathe again. Okay, she said. Then we do it the hard way. Lucifer watched her. Yes, he said. You do. Vaggie stepped closer to Lucifer, voice low. And what about you? She asked. You're acting like this is a lesson, but you're also the reason the lesson is happening. Lucifer's gaze met hers. I did not choose to come, he said. Vaggie's eyes narrowed. Then someone sent you, she said. Lucifer nodded once. Yes, he said. And I do not enjoy being moved. Charlie's stomach tightened again. Do you think my dad did it? She asked. Quiet. Lucifer's expression did not change, but the idea seemed to amuse him for one brief second. I do not know your father, he said. Not yet. That yet hung in the air like a door about to open. Before Charlie could ask more, the front door slammed. Everyone turned. A demon stumbled in, panting, eyes wild. They're saying it's your fault, the demon shouted, pointing at Charlie. They're saying you brought a fake king here. They're saying the purge came early because you broke the rules. Charlie's face went pale. Vaggie cursed under her breath. It starts, she said. Lucifer's eyes narrowed slightly. Who is they? He asked. The demon swallowed. The screens, they said. Vox. He's broadcasting it everywhere. He's calling you a cult. Angel Dust groaned. Of course, he said. Of course it's the TV guy. Husk muttered. We're gonna get mobbed. Charlie stared at the demon. Is anyone hurt? She asked. The demons shook their head fast. Not yet, they said. But people are gathering. They're angry. They think heaven's gonna come again because of you. Charlie's chest tightened. I was helping people, she whispered. Vaggie grabbed Charlie's arm gently. This is what they do, she said. They turn fear into blame. Lucifer watched Charlie's face, then glanced toward the street like he could already hear the forming crowd. He spoke softly. This is the pivot, he said. Charlie looked at him. What? She asked. Lucifer's eyes stayed calm. Fine, they have seen strength, he said. Now they will attack meaning. Charlie's throat went dry. Then Alastair stepped out of the shadow of a hallway, smiling like he had been there the whole time. "Oh, my dear," Alastair said warmly. "Welcome to the true war." Vaggie whirled, spear raised. "Don't," she snapped. Alastair lifted his hands in fake surrender. "I'm only observing," he said, smile wide, and perhaps offering a friendly warning. Lucifer's gaze slid to Alastair. "You enjoy this," Lucifer said. Alastair laughed lightly. "I enjoy stories," he said, "and this one is delicious." Charlie's voice trembled with anger. "People are going to get hurt because of lies," she said. Alastair's smile softened, in a way that was almost kind, which made it worse. "Yes," he said. "So what will you do about it?" Charlie opened her mouth, then closed it. She wanted to say she would tell the truth. She wanted to say she would inspire them. But the city didn't reward truth. It rewarded fear. Lucifer spoke before she could. "We will not answer propaganda with violence," Lucifer said. Vaggie shot him a look. "What do we answer it with, then?" she asked. Lucifer's gaze went to Charlie. "With consistency," he said. "With choices that cannot be edited into a lie." Charlie swallowed. "How?" she asked. Lucifer's eyes stayed steady. "You keep saving people," he said. "Even the ones who shout at you." Angel Dust scoffed. "That's gonna hurt," he said. Lucifer glanced at him. "Yes," he agreed. Charlie felt like crying. She also felt like screaming. Instead, she nodded. "Okay," she whispered. "We'll do it." Lucifer studied her for a moment, then nodded once, like a quiet agreement. Then his gaze lifted again, toward something far away. Something that wasn't just Vox, something higher, something that had tried to mark him. "And while you do," Lucifer said softly, "I will find your father." Charlie's heart jumped. "Why?" she asked. Lucifer's smile returned, small and unreadable. "Because the name Collision is a leash," he said, "and I dislike leashes." Vaggie's eyes narrowed. "You're going to the palace," she said. Lucifer looked at her. "Eventually," he replied. Alastair's smile widened. "Oh," he said, delighted. "That will be a meeting." Charlie's mind spun. Her father, her real father, the king of hell, the one who had stayed away, the one she still wanted to believe in. And now this stranger, this other Lucifer, was going to walk into that complicated wound like he owned the right. Charlie's chest tightened. "If you go," she said, voice small. "I'm coming." Vaggie snapped. "No." Charlie turned to her. "Yes," she insisted. "If this is about my family, and my name and my hotel, I'm not staying behind like luggage." Vaggie's eyes softened for a second. "Charlie," she said quietly, "this is dangerous." Charlie looked back at Lucifer. "Everything is dangerous," she repeated, borrowing his words because she needed the strength. Lucifer's mouth curved slightly, as if he approved of her stealing it. But before any plan could settle, the hotel's front windows flashed. A bright light swept across the glass. Not a weapon, a broadcast. A giant screen turned on across the street, projected from Vox's towers. Vox's face filled it, smiling like he was friendly. "Hello, Pentagram City," Vox's voice boomed. "Big news. The Hazbin Hotel has invited a special guest." The camera feed zoomed on the hotel doors. Charlie's stomach dropped. Vox continued, voice smooth. "A man who calls himself Lucifer. A man who drew heaven's attention early. A man who brought the purge right to your homes." Charlie clenched her fists. "That's not..." Vox lifted a finger, as if correcting her. "And now," he said brightly, "Princess Charlie wants you to believe she can redeem your souls. But ask yourself." The screen flickered to footage of demons running, Footage of screaming. Footage of exorcist light. Footage of Lucifer Morningstar standing calm in the middle of it all, like he was the center. Vox's voice lowered, fake serious. "Is this redemption?" he asked. "Or is this a royal power game?" Charlie felt sick. Vaggie gritted her teeth. "He's turning you into the villain," she said. Lucifer watched the screen without emotion. "He's turning fear into order," Lucifer said. "That is how control begins." Vox's smile on the screen widened. "So here's my question," Vox said. "If the hotel is so safe, why don't they come outside and prove it?" Charlie's breath caught. Vox's eyes gleamed. "Tonight," he said. "Live. A public test. A redemption showcase. The hotel versus reality." The screen cut to black. For a moment, the street outside was silent. Then, slowly, voices rose. Demons gathering, whispering, laughing, jeering. A crowd forming, drawn by the promise of watching hope fail. Charlie's legs felt weak. Angel Dust muttered, "We're getting jumped by social media," like it was the grossest thing he could imagine. Husk took a slow breath. "This is worse than a fight," he said. Vaggie looked at Charlie. "We can't play his game," she said. Charlie stared at the doors, hearing the crowd outside. Then she looked at Lucifer. "If we go out there," she whispered, "and they throw things, and someone gets hurt." Lucifer's gaze was calm, but it pinned the moment. "Then you choose what kind of hope you are," he said. Charlie's throat tightened. She did not answer right away. But inside her chest, something clicked. She wasn't just fighting heaven. She was fighting the idea that she was a joke. Charlie lifted her chin. "We go out," she said. Vaggie snapped. "Charlie!" Charlie held up a hand. "Not like a fight," she said quickly. Like a promise. We show them we won't hide. We show them we won't hurt them, even if they hate us." Angel Dust stared. "That's a terrible plan," he said. Charlie nodded. I know," she whispered. "But it's the only one that matches what we say we are." Lucifer watched her, and for the first time, Charlie felt like he wasn't just amused by her. He looked almost interested. "Very well," Lucifer said. "But we do it under terms." Vaggie's eyes narrowed. "Terms," she muttered. Lucifer lifted a hand, palm up, like he was offering something you could take or refuse. "No violence from me unless you ask," he said. "And if you ask clearly." Charlie swallowed, then nodded. "Okay," she said. Lucifer's gaze sharpened. "And you do not let them make you cruel," he added. Charlie nodded again, tighter. Outside, the crowd pressed closer. And far above, in a place Charlie could not see, Heaven's system logged a note. Not about a fight, about a story, and how to break it. Lucifer Morningstar did not sleep. He sat in a quiet room upstairs with the lights off, staring at the city through a cracked curtain. The noise outside never truly stopped, but it changed. It had patterns. Fear sounded different than greed. Anger sounded different than hunger. Tonight, fear was being fed. Lucifer's mind moved through possibilities like a person flipping through pages. Vox wanted attention. Overlords wanted leverage. Heaven wanted control. And somewhere in this world was another Lucifer, wearing the same name like a crown. The name Collision was not a joke anymore. It was a weapon someone could use. Lucifer tapped 2 fingers against the arm of the chair. Then he felt it. A presence. Not close. Not loud. But real. A gaze on him. Lucifer turned his head slightly. Alastair stood in the doorway like a shadow that had learned to smile. "You're awake," Alastair said pleasantly. Lucifer's voice was calm. "You are intrusive," he replied. Alastair chuckled. "A habit," he said. I thought you might like company." Lucifer looked at him. "You want something," he said. Alastair's grin widened. "Yes," he admitted. "I want to see what you do next." Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "Then watch from a distance," he said. Alastair took a step in, ignoring the suggestion like it was a joke. "You plan to meet the king," he said. Lucifer's gaze sharpened. "Do you know where he is?" Lucifer asked. Alastair's smile gleamed. "Perhaps," he said. Lucifer held his stare. "Price," Lucifer said. "Simple." Alastair laughed softly. "Always with the contracts," he said. "How refreshing." Lucifer didn't blink. "Price," he repeated. Alastair sighed, pretending to be disappointed. "Fine," he said. "No soul tricks. No hidden chains." He leaned in slightly. "I will tell you where the king is," Alastair said, "because I want the meeting to happen. Because it will be loud." Lucifer's mouth curved faintly. "And you think loud is fun," Lucifer said. Alastair's grin widened. "It is," he said. Lucifer waited. Alastair tilted his head. "He watches from the high places," Alastair said. "He does not walk among the street rats much, but he does listen. Always listening." Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "Listening where?" he asked. Alastair's voice softened, almost respectful. "His palace," he said, "and the halls beneath it." Lucifer nodded once. Alastair lifted a finger. "But," he added, smile bright, "he won't greet you like a guest. He will greet you like an insult." Lucifer's voice stayed calm. "Then I will be polite," he said. Alastair laughed. "That will make it worse," he said. Lucifer's gaze flicked back to the city. "Good," he replied. Alastair stepped back, satisfied. "Well," he said, "I'll see you at the family dinner." Lucifer looked at him. "There will be no dinner," he said. Alastair's smile didn't change. "We'll see," he said, and vanished into the hallway like smoke. Lucifer sat still. He did not like being part of someone else's entertainment, but if meeting the king was the key to cutting the leash, then he would do it, and he would do it on his terms. The next evening, Charlie stood in front of the hotel with Vaggie beside her. A crowd filled the street. Some demons held drinks like this was a show. Some held rocks. Some held signs Vox had printed for them, flashing slogans like weapons. The biggest screen above the street showed Vox's face, smiling, eye ready to narrate her failure. Angel Dust stood near the door with Husk, both trying to look tougher than they felt. Nifty peeked from behind a curtain inside, whispering, "I can stab ankles," like it was a prayer. Charlie stepped forward, hands raised. "My name is Charlie Morningstar," she called, voice shaking but strong. "I'm not here to hurt you." The crowd jeered. Vox's voice boomed from the screen. "Oh," he said, "so sweet, so innocent, so royal." Charlie swallowed and kept going. "The purge came early," she said, "but it wasn't because I wanted it. I'm trying to stop this cycle. I'm trying to make a place where you can choose something better." A demon shouted, "You brought fake Lucifer." Another yelled, "You brought heaven." Charlie's chest tightened. "I didn't bring heaven," she insisted. "Heaven was already coming, so I'm trying to protect people." Vox chuckled. "Protect people," he repeated. "And yet, she invited a walking disaster into your neighborhood." Charlie's hands trembled. Then Lucifer Morningstar stepped out of the hotel. The crowd froze. Even the loudest demons went quiet for a second, like their fear had grabbed their tongues. Lucifer walked to stand beside Charlie. Calm. Still. His eyes scanned the crowd without judgment. Vox's screen face flickered with excitement. "Oh, and here he is," Vox purred. "The Mystery King himself." Lucifer looked up at the screen like he was looking at a bug on glass. Vox's smile widened. Tell them who you are, Vox said. Tell them what you want. Lucifer's voice was not loud, but it carried. I want nothing from them, he said. Simple. The crowd murmured. Vox laughed. Nothing? In hell? That's hilarious, Vox said. Nobody wants nothing. Lucifer's gaze stayed on the screen. Then you do not understand want, Lucifer replied. Vox's smile tightened. Charlie stared at Lucifer, grateful and terrified at the same time. She could feel how easily he could end the crowd's anger by force. He didn't. He just stood there like a wall that refused to be pushed. Charlie took a breath. We're still open, she said. For anyone who wants to try. No tricks, no chains. A demon in the front row sneered. Why should we trust you? They spat. Charlie's voice cracked. You don't have to, she admitted. Not right away. But you can watch us. You can see what we do. Vox's voice turned sharper. Then prove it, he said. Bring someone out. Redeem them right now. Live. Charlie's stomach dropped. She couldn't redeem someone like a magic trick. Thought that was the whole point. Vaggie leaned in, whispering, This is the trap. Don't take it. Charlie's eyes burned. She looked at the crowd, then at the screen, then at the hotel behind her, full of fragile hope and broken people. She realized Vox wasn't asking for a real change. He was asking for a performance he could cut into a failure. Charlie swallowed and spoke anyway. No, she said. The crowd murmured louder. Vox's smile widened. Oh, he said. The princess refuses. Charlie lifted her chin. Redemption isn't a show, she said, voice steady now. It's a choice. You don't get to force it for entertainment. For a second, the street went quiet again. Then people started yelling. Some laughed. Some cursed. Some threw bottles. Charlie flinched as glass shattered near her feet. Vaggie stepped in front of her, spear angled. Lucifer didn't move. A rock flew toward Charlie's head. Lucifer lifted one finger. The rock stopped in the air, hanging there like it was unsure what to do. Lucifer turned his head slightly toward Charlie, as if asking without words. Charlie's throat tightened. Then she nodded once. Not to harm the crowd, to protect. Lucifer flicked his finger. The rock fell straight down, harmless, landing with a dull thud. The crowd went quiet again, unsettled. Vox's voice cut in fast. Look at that, he said, smooth. He's already controlling the battlefield. Lucifer's eyes narrowed. Charlie's heart pounded. She understood the game now. No matter what they did, Vox would twist it. So the only win wasn't winning tonight. It was surviving it without becoming cruel. Charlie stepped forward again, voice loud. We're going back inside, she said. If you want to hate us, hate us. But we won't hurt you. And we won't stop trying. She turned and walked back toward the doors. Vaggie stayed close, spear ready. Angel Dust flipped off the crowd, and then hurried inside too, because he was brave, but not stupid. Husk shut the doors hard. Inside, Charlie leaned against the wall, breathing fast, tears hot on her cheeks. Vaggie touched her shoulder. You did good, she said. Charlie shook her head. It feels like I did nothing, she whispered. Lucifer stood a few steps away, watching her like he was learning something. You did something rare, he said. Charlie looked up, eyes wet. What? She asked. Lucifer's voice was calm. You refused to become their entertainment, he said. That is power of a different kind. Charlie wiped her face quickly, embarrassed. Then she remembered what he had said earlier. You're really going to meet my dad, she said. Lucifer nodded once. Yes, he said. Vaggie's eyes sharpened. Not alone, she said. Charlie straightened. Not without me, she added. Lucifer looked at both of them. Then we go tomorrow, he said. Charlie swallowed. Her stomach flipped with fear and hope. Outside, Vox's broadcast kept going, calling them cowards, calling them frauds, feeding the city's anger. But inside the hotel, a different plan formed. Not a plan to win the crowd, a plan to cut the leash at the root, to meet the king, and see what happens when hell has two Lucifers in the same room. Adam sat in a bright hall of heaven, tapping his foot like an impatient drummer. He hated waiting. He hated paperwork more. A tall figure in authority stood behind a wall of light, a voice cold and controlled. "You engaged the anomaly," the voice said. Adam grinned. "Yeah," he said. "And it was awesome." "It broke the mark," the voice said. Adam's grin faltered. "Yeah," he said again, louder. "But I still tagged it for a second. We got data." The voice didn't react to his pride. "It is not bound by our normal rules," it said. "We will adjust." Adam leaned forward, eyes bright with anger and excitement. "Let me go back," he said. "Let me bring more. Let me bring the full purge and wipe that hotel off the street." The voice stayed calm. "No," it said. "Force will feed the story." Adam clenched his fists. "Then what?" he snapped. The voice lowered, colder. "We break the meaning," it said. Adam frowned. "Meaning?" "The princess is building hope," the voice said. "Hope is disorder." Adam's eyes narrowed. "So we kill her," he said. "Simple." The voice paused. "Not yet," it said. "First we isolate her. We make her hope look like harm. Then, when the city turns on her..." Adam's grin returned. "Then she has no shield," he finished. The voice did not confirm. It did not need to. Adam cracked his knuckles. "Fine," he said. "I can wait." But his eyes burned with the promise of violence. Somewhere below, in hell, the hotel lights stayed on, and Adam decided he would enjoy turning them off. The next morning, Lucifer Morningstar walked through the hotel lobby like he was passing through a courtroom. Charlie hurried beside him, trying to look brave. Vaggie followed on the other side, scanning everything. Lucifer stopped by the front desk. Nifty popped up instantly with paper. "Terms," she chirped. Vaggie groaned. "No," she muttered. Lucifer accepted the paper anyway, calm as always. He wrote 3 short lines with a touch of his finger. Charlie leaned in and read them. Charlie chooses to come. Vaggie chooses to come. If danger escalates beyond their consent, Lucifer removes them. Charlie blinked. "That's actually fair," she said. Vaggie stared. "I hate that I agree," she muttered. Angel Dust leaned over, smirking. "Look at you two," he said, "signing field trip permission slips." Husk grunted. "Try not to die," he said, like it was his version of caring. Charlie signed. Vaggie signed. Lucifer folded the paper and handed it back to Charlie again like a receipt. Then he opened the front doors. The street outside was tense. Demons watched from corners. Some spat at the hotel. Some looked curious. Vox's screens were quieter now, but they weren't off. They never were, for Lucifer stepped out first, then Charlie, then Vaggie. They walked down the street toward the high district, where hell's royal spaces rose above the grime. Charlie had been there before, but not like this. Not as a daughter, bringing an impossible problem to her father's doorstep. Lucifer walked like he owned his steps, but not like he owned the city. More like he refused to be owned by it. Vaggie stayed close to Charlie, spear hidden under a coat, but ready. Charlie whispered, "Do you think he'll come out?" she asked. Vaggie whispered back, "Your dad?" "Maybe," she said. "But I think this ends in yelling." Charlie swallowed. "I don't want to fight," she said. Vaggie's eyes flicked to Lucifer's calm profile. "Then we better hope he doesn't either," she said. Lucifer heard them anyway. He didn't comment. He just kept walking. As they moved into the cleaner, brighter parts of the city, the air changed. Less street noise, More guards. More demons with controlled smiles and sharp eyes. Power lived here, but it was a different kind than in the streets. This was political power. The kind that smiled while it stabbed. Charlie felt it in her skin. Then she felt something else. A pull. Like the name Lucifer was a hook in the world, and both of them were tied to it. Lucifer Morningstar paused. He looked at the tall palace gates ahead. Then he looked at Charlie. "Are you sure?" he asked. Simple. Charlie's throat tightened, but she nodded. "Yes," she said. "I need to know why he stayed away. And I need him to see what I'm doing." Lucifer nodded once. "Then we proceed," he said. Vaggie muttered. "We proceed into death," but she followed. They reached the gates. Seen two royal guards stepped forward, weapons angled. One stared at Lucifer Morningstar, and their face went pale. They bowed fast. Too fast. The guard started, voice shaking. Charlie stepped forward. "It's okay," she said quickly. "It's me, Princess Charlie." The guard straightened, embarrassed. Then they looked at Lucifer Morningstar again, and fear returned. Charlie said, "We're here to see the king." The guards hesitated. Then a new voice spoke from behind the gate. Smooth, light, too cheerful for how heavy it felt. "My dear, sweet daughter," the voice called, "you've finally decided to visit." Charlie's heart kicked. The gates opened, and there he stood. Lucifer, the king of hell, Charlie's father. He looked polished and charming, with a smile that could fill a room. His eyes held warmth and something tired under it. Charlie's chest hurt with old feelings. "Dad," she whispered. Hazbin Lucifer's smile widened. "Charlie," he said, stepping forward. Then his gaze landed on Lucifer Morningstar. The warmth in Hazbin Lucifer's eyes vanished. His smile stayed, but it went sharp. "Well," Hazbin Lucifer said, voice still sweet. "This is new." Lucifer Morningstar met his stare without blinking. For a second, the world felt like it held its breath. Two Lucifers. Same name, different weight. Hazbin Lucifer tilted his head, still smiling, eyes cold now. "And who," he asked, "are you supposed to be?" Lucifer Morningstar's voice was calm. "Lucifer Morningstar," he said. Hazbin Lucifer laughed once, short and not amused. "No," he said. "That's my name." Lucifer Morningstar's mouth curved faintly. "Then we share a problem," he replied. Charlie stepped between them fast, hands raised. "Dad, wait," she said. He's not you. He's from somewhere else, I think." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes didn't leave the stranger. "From somewhere else," he repeated, voice soft. "And he chose my face?" Lucifer Morningstar's brows lifted slightly. "I did not choose anything," he said. "I arrived." Hazbin Lucifer's smile tightened. "Arrived," he echoed. "Into my realm, into my city, into my daughter's life." Vaggie shifted her stance. She could feel power building in the air like static before lightning. Lucifer Morningstar spoke again, calm as ever. "Your heaven attacked early," he said. "They aimed at the hotel." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flickered toward Charlie for the first time. "They what?" he asked, voice sharper. Charlie's voice trembled. "They came early," she said. We barely survived. He helped, but Vox is blaming us. The city's turning on the hotel." Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. For a moment, Charlie saw something raw behind his charm. Worry. Then it got buried again under control. Hazbin Lucifer looked back at Lucifer Morningstar. "So," he said, "you're a walking siren that brought heaven closer to my daughter." Lucifer Morningstar's gaze didn't change. "Heaven would come regardless," he said. "Your world simply pretends the schedule is normal." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "You talk like you know my world." "I know systems," Lucifer Morningstar replied. The air between them tightened. Charlie swallowed hard. "Dad," she said, stepping closer to her father, "I need you to listen. This isn't about pride." Hazbin Lucifer's smile twitched. "Everything in hell is about pride," he said. Lucifer Morningstar's voice was quiet. "That is why hell stays hell," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. Charlie felt it. The edge. The fight waiting. She shoved herself between them again, palms out like she could physically hold back 2 storms. "Stop," Charlie said, voice shaking. "Both of you." Hazbin Lucifer looked at her. The anger in him paused, like her voice had a key to a lock. Lucifer Morningstar looked at her too, calm, watching. Charlie took a breath. "I came because I need help," she said. "Not power help. Not wipe out the city help. I need family help. And I need the truth." Hazbin Lucifer's smile softened just a fraction. "Charlie," he said gently. Then he glanced at Lucifer Morningstar again. "And I need to know what he is," he added. Lucifer Morningstar tilted his head. "Then ask," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "What are you?" he asked, simple and sharp. Lucifer Morningstar answered in clean beats. "An angel once," he said. "A devil to others. A man who refuses cages." Hazbin Lucifer scoffed. "Poetic," he said, "but not useful." Lucifer Morningstar's tone stayed flat. "Useful truth," he said, "is usually simple." Vaggy's eyes flicked over the guards. More were gathering now. Whispers spread. Charlie's stomach sank. This meeting was already becoming a rumor, and rumors in hell became weapons fast. Then a new sound hit the air. A cheer, far away at first, then closer. A wave of noise moving through the high district. Velvet's voice blasted from a giant screen that lit up above the street outside the palace. "Hello!" Velvet sang, bright and cruel. "Guess who's at the palace today?" Charlie's blood ran cold. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "What is this?" he asked. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze slid toward the screen. "Your city's schemers," he said calmly. "They arrived on schedule." Velvet's screen cut to a live feed of the palace gates, of Charlie, of Hazbin Lucifer, and then, zoomed in, of Lucifer Morningstar. Velvet squealed. "Two Lucifers!" she shouted. "This is better than Fashion Week!" Vox's voice joined in, smooth as poison. "Citizens," Vox said, "we bring you a royal moment. The princess has brought her guest to meet the real king." Charlie's stomach twisted. "No," she whispered. Vaggy hissed. "We got tracked." Hazbin Lucifer's smile turned sharp again, but now it was aimed outward. "They dare broadcast my palace," he said. Lucifer Morningstar glanced at him. "You let them," he said simply. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "Careful," he warned. Lucifer Morningstar's tone stayed calm. "Truth is not an attack," he said. Velvet's screen showed edited clips already rolling. The early purge. Charlie's face. Demons screaming. Lucifer Morningstar standing calm. Vox narrated over it like a story. "Look at the princess," he said. "Look how she hides behind power." Charlie clenched her fists. "I'm not." Vox's voice continued, louder. "And now look, she drags the king into it. Is this redemption? Or a royal stunt?" The crowd outside the palace gates grew. Demons were flooding the high district now, drawn by screens and gossip like flies to sugar. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "This is unacceptable," he said. Charlie grabbed his sleeve. "Dad, please," she whispered. "Don't make it worse." Hazbin Lucifer looked at her. His anger paused again. Then his gaze lifted. And Charlie saw the part of him that was a king. The part that wanted to control the narrative by force. Lucifer Morningstar watched him closely. like he was waiting to see which Lucifer won inside him. Hazbin Lucifer took a breath. Then he did something Charlie didn't expect. He smiled warmly for the cameras. He spread his arms like a performer. "My dear people," Hazbin Lucifer called, voice booming. "What a delightful misunderstanding." Charlie's eyes widened. Hazbin Lucifer kept smiling. "There's only one Lucifer in hell," he said smoothly, "and he is standing right here." The crowd outside cheered. Charlie felt sick. "Dad," Hazbin Lucifer continued, "as for this guest." He glanced at Lucifer Morningstar, smile still sweet. "He is an amusing illusion." Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed, not in fear, in annoyance. Charlie's throat tightened. "He's not an illusion," she whispered. Vaggie stared at Hazbin Lucifer with disbelief. "You're throwing him under the bus," she muttered. Hazbin Lucifer's smile didn't move, but his eyes flicked to Vaggie like she was an insect. Lucifer Morningstar spoke, calm but sharp. "You are lying," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's smile stayed. "I'm managing," he replied. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze turned colder. "You are trying to control," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "And you are trying to stand in my place," he snapped, smile dropping for the first time. The air between them tightened again, thicker. Charlie stepped forward, voice shaking. "Dad, stop!" she begged. "This is not—" A new sound cut through everything. A horn, a harsh, familiar blast that made Charlie's blood run cold. The crowd outside screamed. The sky above the palace flashed white. Vaggie's heart dropped. "No," she whispered. "Not again." Lucifer Morningstar lifted his gaze to the sky. Hazbin Lucifer's expression shifted, anger replaced by shock. Charlie's breath caught. "They're here," she whispered. Exorcists tore through the air above the high district, dropping fast. Not a full purge, a strike, a message, and it was timed perfectly for the cameras. Vox's voice roared through the speakers, thrilled. "Oh my! Looks like heaven wants a piece of this too." Charlie's stomach twisted. "They planned this," she whispered. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. "Yes," he said. "Now the story becomes blood." Hazbin Lucifer's jaw clenched. His wings snapped out. He looked at Charlie. "Get inside," he ordered. Charlie shook her head. "No," she said. "4 people are out there." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "Charlie." Lucifer Morningstar stepped forward, calm. "Do you want to protect your daughter?" he asked Hazbin Lucifer. "Or your pride?" Hazbin Lucifer's eyes burned. Then another spear of holy light slammed into the street outside, exploding near the crowd. Demons screamed and ran. Some fell. Guards shouted. Charlie moved without thinking. She ran toward the gates. Vaggie followed, spear out, shouting at guards to move civilians. Hazbin Lucifer hesitated 1 second, 1 painful second, then surged after them, wings beating. Lucifer Morningstar moved too, smooth and fast, like the space between the palace and the street was nothing. The fight spilled into the open where everyone could see it, and Vox kept filming. Exorcists dropped in a tight formation. Their leader wasn't Adam this time. It was a smaller strike team, fast and sharp, holy weapons glowing bright. They were not here to wipe out the city. They were here to kill the idea that the princess could keep anyone safe. They aimed at the crowd first. Charlie threw up a shield, her magic flaring red and gold, catching a spear that would have hit a fleeing demon. She gritted her teeth. "Run!" she shouted. Vaggie fought on the ground, tactical and furious, jabbing, tripping, pushing exorcists away from civilians. Hazbin Lucifer flew in with showy power, blasting holy weapons aside with bursts of force that made the street shake. The crowd cheered when he moved, because they understood that kind of power. Lucifer Morningstar did not blast. He stepped into the middle of the chaos and lifted one hand. Weapons dimmed. Not all of them at once this time. Some resisted. Holy systems pushed back. Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "Interesting," he said. And for the first time, Charlie heard the hint of challenge in his voice. An exorcist swung a glowing blade at him. Lucifer caught it. The blade burned his palm again, thin and bright. Lucifer looked at the burning line, expression flat. Then he let the blade go, and the blade fell apart into dull pieces, like someone turned off its meaning. The exorcist froze, confused. Lucifer tapped the exorcist's chest with 2 fingers. The exorcist flew backward, slammed into a wall, and slid down, stunned but alive. Hazbin Lucifer saw it and stiffened. He recognized the difference. His power was loud. This power was quiet and complete. Vox's voice screamed from the screens, thrilled. "Look at that," he shouted. "The fake king is fighting heaven in the king's district." Charlie felt panic rising. "Stop filming!" she shouted at the screens, like that would help. Velvet's laugh rang out. "Nope," she sang. "This is content." Another exorcist aimed at Charlie. Vaggie lunged, taking the hit on her spear, sparks flying. Charlie grabbed Vaggie's arm. "Are you okay?" she cried. Vaggie gritted her teeth. "Focus," she snapped, because it was how she kept fear from winning. Hazbin Lucifer flew down and landed beside Charlie, wings spread like a shield. "You should not be here," he growled. Charlie glared up at him, tears in her eyes. "Neither should heaven," she snapped. Hazbin Lucifer blinked. For a second, Charlie saw pride and love clash in his face. Then Lucifer Morningstar stepped close, calm even with holy burns on his hand. "Your city watches," Lucifer Morningstar said to Hazbin Lucifer. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "I know," he snapped. Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed even. "Then choose wisely," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. He looked up at the sky. The strike team was pulling back already, like they had done their job. They weren't trying to win a battle. They were trying to make a clip, and they got it. One exorcist hurled a final spear of light toward the crowd as they retreated, a last cruel punctuation. Charlie screamed, shield flaring. She caught it. Barely. The impact shoved her back. She fell to one knee, shaking. Hazbin Lucifer's face twisted in panic. "Charlie!" he shouted. Lucifer Morningstar moved first. He stepped behind Charlie, placed his hand near her shield, not touching her, not controlling her. "Do you permit assistance?" he asked, calm even now. Charlie's breath hitched. She nodded fast. "Yes," she gasped. Lucifer's fingers flexed. The spear of light unraveled, strand by strand, fading into nothing. Charlie's shield held. The crowd saw it. The cameras saw it. And the street went quiet again. But this time, it wasn't awe. It was fear mixed with confusion. 2 kings, 2 powers, 1 daughter in the middle. The exorcists vanished back into the sky. The strike was over. The message was sent. Vox's voice boomed, delighted. "And there you have it," he said. "The princess brings chaos. The king performs damage control. And the guest bleeds holy fire." Charlie's hands shook as she stood. Vaggie grabbed her elbow, steadying her. Hazbin Lucifer stared at Lucifer Morningstar, eyes sharp and angry and scared in a way he would never admit. And Lucifer Morningstar met his gaze, calm. "Now," Lucifer Morningstar said softly, "you understand why I came." Hazbin Lucifer's teeth clenched. "You came because you want answers," he said. Lucifer Morningstar nodded. "Yes," he said. "And because your daughter asked me to help." Hazbin Lucifer's gaze flicked to Charlie. His anger faltered again, just for a moment. Charlie looked up at her father, voice small. "Dad," she whispered, "please. We can't fight each other. Not now." Hazbin Lucifer stared at her. Then he looked at the cameras, at the crowd, at the screens. His face hardened. "We are going inside," he said, voice like a command. He turned toward the palace. Charlie started to follow. Then Vox's screen flashed one last time, voice slick as oil. "One more thing," Vox called. "The city has a question." The screen zoomed tight on Lucifer Morningstar's face. "Who is he really?" Vox asked. "And what will he take from you?" Lucifer Morningstar looked up at the screen. His eyes were calm, but the calm had an edge now. He spoke, voice carrying like it had its own gravity. "I take nothing," he said. "I only accept what is freely given." Then he added, quiet but clear, "And I refuse your leash." The screen flickered hard. For 1 second, Vox's face froze like a broken channel. Then the broadcast cut out. Vox's towers in the distance sparked. Charlie stared, shocked. "Did you?" she started. Lucifer Morningstar didn't answer. He simply turned toward the palace, following Hazbin Lucifer and Charlie inside. Vaggie stayed close, eyes wide, whispering to Charlie, "We just made it worse, like a confession." Charlie swallowed, trembling. Maybe they had. But now everything was out in the open, and there was no going back. The palace hall was too clean for hell. It smelled like polished wood and expensive perfume. Guards lined the sides, watching Charlie like she was precious, and watching Lucifer Morningstar like he was a bomb. Hazbin Lucifer walked fast, trying to get Charlie away from windows and cameras and public eyes. Charlie kept up, breath shaky. "Dad, slow down," she pleaded. Hazbin Lucifer stopped in a private room and turned sharply. The charm mask slipped. "What were you thinking?" he snapped. Charlie flinched. "I was thinking people were going to die," she shot back. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "I could have handled it," he said. Charlie's voice cracked. "You didn't," she said. "You weren't there. You never come." Hazbin Lucifer froze. The words landed like a slap, because they were true. Vaggie stood near the door, tense, ready to fight guards if she had to. Lucifer Morningstar stood quietly, watching, not interfering. Hazbin Lucifer looked at Charlie, anger draining into something tired. "Charlie," he said, softer, "I'm trying to keep you safe." Charlie's eyes filled. "I don't need a cage," she whispered. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze sharpened slightly at the word. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. "And him?" he asked, pointing at Lucifer Morningstar. "Is he safe? Is he helping you? Or is he using you?" Charlie looked at Lucifer Morningstar, then back at her father. "He helped when I asked," she said. "He didn't force it." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "He made you sign terms," he said, disgusted. Charlie swallowed. "No, they were fair," she said. Hazbin Lucifer looked like he didn't know what to do with that. Lucifer Morningstar spoke, calm. "You lie to cameras," he said to Hazbin Lucifer. "You manage stories. You call it protection." Hazbin Lucifer snapped his gaze to him. "And you rewrite weapons like it's nothing," he shot back. "You call it consent." Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed even. "It is consent," he said. Hazbin Lucifer stepped forward, wings twitching. "You don't get to walk into my realm and lecture me on my daughter," he hissed. Lucifer Morningstar met him without moving. "Then stop failing her," he replied. The room went deadly quiet. Charlie's breath hitched. "Stop," she cried. "Both of you!" Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flicked to her, guilt flashing. Lucifer Morningstar's expression softened slightly. Charlie wiped her face hard. "I didn't come here for a duel," she said. "I came here for help. Vox is tearing the hotel apart. Heaven is timing strikes for cameras. People will die if we don't change something." Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. "Vox is an insect," he said. Charlie shook her head. Vox is a megaphone, she said, and megaphones change crowds. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. He hated that she was right. Lucifer Morningstar spoke, calm but firm. The next move will be personal, he said. Vaggy's eyes sharpened. What do you mean? She asked. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze lifted, distant. They will not attack the hotel with swords next, he said. They will attack it with a choice that hurts. Charlie's stomach sank. Like what? She whispered. Lucifer Morningstar looked at her. They will offer you a way to win, he said. So that requires you to become cruel. Charlie's throat went dry. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. Heaven doesn't bargain, he said. Lucifer Morningstar's smile was small and cold. Everything bargains, he replied. The room went quiet again. Then a guard rushed in, breathless. My king, the guard said, bowing. Message from Vox. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. I did not invite him, he growled. The guard swallowed. It's public, they said, holding out a tablet screen. Hazbin Lucifer snatched it. On the screen, Vox smiled like a shark. King Lucifer, Vox said smoothly. The city demands clarity. Tonight, at the Central Plaza, we host a council showcase. Overlords present, citizens watching, and one special question. Vox's smile widened. Which Lucifer speaks for hell? Charlie's blood ran cold. Vaggy whispered. That's a trap. Lucifer Morningstar's voice was quiet. Yes, he said, and it will spread. Hazbin Lucifer stared at the screen, rage building. Charlie grabbed his arm. Dad, she whispered, don't take it. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw clenched hard. If I ignore it, he said, I look weak. Charlie's eyes filled. If you take it, she whispered, you make it about ego. And Vox wins. Hazbin Lucifer froze, because she was right again. Lucifer Morningstar watched him, calm, waiting. Hazbin Lucifer took a slow breath. Then he looked at Charlie. For a moment, Charlie saw the father behind the king. He was scared. Not of Vox, of losing her. Hazbin Lucifer's voice lowered. Charlie, he said, go back to the hotel. Charlie shook her head. No, she said. Not alone. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flicked to Lucifer Morningstar. And you, he said, voice tight. You stay away from my daughter. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. She is not yours to place, he said. Hazbin Lucifer snarled. She is my daughter. Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed calm, but it hit like a truth you couldn't dodge. Then treat her like a person, he said, not a symbol. Charlie's breath caught. Vaggy's grip tightened on her spear. Hazbin Lucifer stared at Lucifer Morningstar like he wanted to strike him. Then he didn't. Instead, he turned away, shoulders tense. I will handle Vox, Hazbin Lucifer said, voice cold. In my way. Charlie's stomach sank. Dad, what is your way? She asked. Hazbin Lucifer didn't answer. Lucifer Morningstar spoke softly. Your way is control, he said. Hazbin Lucifer's wings twitched. And your way is arrogance, he snapped. Lucifer Morningstar's smile returned, faint. Girl, he admitted, but mine does not pretend to be kindness. Charlie felt like the room was shrinking. She whispered, We're running out of time. Lucifer Morningstar looked at her. Then we move, he said. Vaggy blinked. Move where? She asked. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze lifted toward the palace walls, toward the halls beneath. Your father listens from beneath, Lucifer Morningstar said, remembering Alastor's hint. We find what he listens to. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. What are you implying? He asked. Lucifer Morningstar's voice was calm. That your realm has old contracts, he said. Old leashes. Old rules hidden under your throne. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. This is my kingdom, he hissed. There are no leashes on me." Lucifer Morningstar's eyes held his. "Then prove it," he said. Charlie's breath hitched, because now the conflict wasn't just two Lucifers. It was a question of whether Hell's King was truly free in his own hell, and whether Charlie's hope could exist inside a system built on chains. Lucifer Morningstar turned toward the door. Charlie followed. Vaggie followed. Hazbin Lucifer hesitated. Then, with a sharp exhale, he followed too. Because whether he admitted it or not, he wanted the truth. And deep down, he was afraid of what it would cost. Charlie did not expect the palace to have a basement that felt older than the city. The stairs went down past clean halls and shiny guards, down past rooms that smelled like perfume and power, down into stone that looked like it had been carved before anyone living now had a name. The air was cooler, the lights were dimmer, the silence felt thick. Hazbin Lucifer walked in front, a tight smile on his face, like he hated that this place existed at all. Vaggie stayed close to Charlie, spear in both hands now. Charlie could feel Vaggie's fear in every step, but Vaggie kept moving anyway. Lucifer Morningstar followed behind them, calm, hands relaxed at his sides. He looked like he was touring a museum. "This is not for you," Hazbin Lucifer said without turning around. Lucifer Morningstar answered softly. "Nothing is for me here," he said. "That is the problem." They reached a heavy door with old symbols carved into it. The symbols were not pretty. They were practical, like a lock meant to last. Hazbin Lucifer placed his palm on the door. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the symbols glowed, faint and red, like the stone was remembering him. The door opened. Charlie's breath caught. Inside was a long room filled with shelves. On the shelves sat books and scrolls and thin metal plates, stacked like records in a library. Some were wrapped in chains. Some were sealed with wax that looked black. And in the center, on a stone table, sat one thick book with a cover that looked burned and repaired again and again. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. "A ledger," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. "A mistake," he replied. Charlie stepped closer, careful. "Dad, what is this?" she asked. Hazbin Lucifer didn't answer right away. His smile slipped, just a little. "This is the part of being king that no one cheers for," he said finally. "This is the paperwork." Vaggie muttered, "It's always paperwork." Lucifer Morningstar's mouth curved faintly, like he approved of the honesty. Hazbin Lucifer opened the thick book. The pages were full of clean writing, names, dates, clauses, rules written like they were not suggestions. Charlie scanned the lines and felt sick as she understood. A schedule, a permission, a repeating agreement. It didn't say "purge" in bold letters. It didn't have a drawing of angels stabbing demons, but it described it in careful terms, like a person writing a plan to hurt someone without using the word hurt. Charlie's hands trembled. This is heaven," she whispered. "This is an agreement with heaven." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flashed. "It is an old deal," he said sharply. "Not a deal I wanted." Lucifer Morningstar stepped closer, calm. "And yet you keep it," he said. Hazbin Lucifer snapped his gaze to him. "Do you think I enjoy this?" he hissed. "Do you think I like watching them come down like butchers?" Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed level. "Then why does it continue?" he asked. Hazbin Lucifer's wings twitched, annoyed and cornered. "Because there are rules," he spat. Lucifer Morningstar looked at the book. "Rules written by whom?" he asked. Hazbin Lucifer's face tightened. "By the ones who won," he said. Charlie stared at her father. Her throat felt tight. "Dad, did you sign this?" she asked, voice shaking. Hazbin Lucifer didn't look at her. That was answer enough. Charlie's eyes filled. You signed the schedule that lets them kill us, she whispered. Hazbin Lucifer finally looked at her. His charm was gone now. His eyes were tired and angry and guilty all at once. I signed to keep hell from being erased, he said. I signed so they wouldn't do worse. Charlie shook her head, tears falling. Worse than slaughter? She asked. Hazbin Lucifer's voice went low. Yes, he said. Worse than you can imagine. Lucifer Morningstar watched them, still calm, but his eyes had an edge now. So you wear a crown, he said, while heaven holds your leash. Hazbin Lucifer's face twisted. Don't call it that, he snarled. Lucifer Morningstar tapped the page with one finger. That is what it is, he said. Charlie wiped her cheeks hard, trying to breathe. Can we break it? She asked. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. If you rip it apart, he said, heaven notices. Fully. Not a strike team, not a message, a war. Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. Yes, he said. They will come loud. Vaggy's voice was tight. Then what do we do? She asked. Then Lucifer Morningstar looked at Charlie. We learn the clauses, he said. We find the parts that can be changed without tearing the page. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. You can't change this, he said. It's heaven's system. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze stayed steady. Systems can be rewritten, he said, but not by force alone. Charlie's breath hitched. Then how? She asked. Lucifer Morningstar's voice was quiet. By permission, he said. Hazbin Lucifer scoffed. Heaven will never permit it, he said. Lucifer Morningstar shook his head slightly. Not heaven's permission, he said. He looked at Hazbin Lucifer. Yours, he said. Hazbin Lucifer stared at him like he had just insulted him. Charlie stepped between them, shaking. Dad, she pleaded, I can't keep doing this while heaven has a legal right to murder people. My hotel can't fight a schedule. Hazbin Lucifer looked at her and flinched, like her words hurt more than any weapon. Then he looked at the ledger again. His shoulders dropped a fraction. Fine, he said. We study it. Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. Good, he said. Charlie's chest rose and fell fast. Okay, she whispered. Okay. We have something real now. Vaggy muttered. We have a bomb with an instruction manual. Lucifer Morningstar glanced at her. Yes, he said calmly. Which is better than a bomb with a blindfold. They left the vault with the truth sitting heavy in Charlie's stomach. When they climbed back into the palace halls, the air above felt louder, like the world could sense what they'd found. And Charlie realized something else too. This wasn't just about her dream anymore. It was about who held the rules in hell, and what kind of king her father had been forced to become. Days passed, then weeks. The Hazbin Hotel did not collapse, even though Vox tried his best to kick its legs out. Every day there was a new clip, a new expert on Vox Tech screens saying redemption was a scam, a new rumor saying the princess was hiding a monster. And every day Charlie opened the doors anyway. She put up new posters. She held group sessions that sometimes turned into shouting matches. She cleaned blood off the steps and then scrubbed the floor like it mattered. Vaggy turned the hotel into a fortress without making it feel like a prison. Cameras, hidden exits, a rooftop rotation, a rule list that was short enough that people could actually follow it. Angel Dust kept joking, but he also started guiding new guests away from fights. He told them where to sleep, when to duck, and how to survive the first week without getting eaten by the city. Husk pretended he didn't care. Then he started fixing broken chairs without being asked. Nifty cleaned like she was at war with dust itself, and Lucifer Morningstar stayed. He did not take the lobby like a throne room. He did not stand on the roof like a hero. Most of the time he sat in a quiet corner with a notebook that wasn't made of paper. Sometimes he played the piano at night, slow and careful, like he was thinking in music. The running joke started on the third day. Charlie asked him, "Can you help me move these tables?" Lucifer looked up. "Do you want help?" he asked. "Or do you want control?" Charlie blinked, then laughed once. "I want help," she said. Lucifer nodded. "Then say it clearly," he replied. So Charlie did. "Lucifer Morningstar," she said, trying not to laugh. "I freely ask you to help me move these tables." Lucifer's mouth curved slightly. "Accepted," he said. He lifted one finger. All the tables floated 3 inches off the ground and slid into place gently, like someone pushed them on invisible wheels. Angel Dust leaned against the wall and clapped slow. "This place is turning into a courtroom," he said. Vaggie rolled her eyes. "At least the courtroom doesn't have knives," she muttered. From that day on, Lucifer insisted on clean asks, even for small things, even when Charlie thought it was silly. It annoyed everyone. It also made something strange happen. People started thinking before they demanded. They started noticing when someone tried to push them. In hell, that was almost a miracle. Charlie still felt scared most mornings, but she also felt steadier, because if hell ran on deals and chains, then maybe her hotel could run on choice. Maybe that was the real rebellion. Hazbin Lucifer showed up at the hotel 1 week after the palace vault. He arrived without a parade. No big music, no speech, just the king of hell stepping into the lobby like he had forgotten what it felt like to be somewhere normal. Charlie froze when she saw him. Her heart did the stupid, painful thing it always did when her dad appeared. Hope, then fear, then anger, all mixed. "Dad," she said softly. Hazbin Lucifer's smile was smaller than usual. "Charlie," he replied. His eyes moved to Lucifer Morningstar, who was sitting in a chair like he had been born there. The air tightened again. Vaggie stepped closer to Charlie without thinking. Angel Dust whispered, "Oh, this is gonna be awkward," and then immediately regretted being right. Hazbin Lucifer took a breath. "We need to talk," he said. Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. "Yes," he replied. Charlie's stomach twisted. "About the ledger?" she asked. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes flicked to her. "About everything," he said. They sat in the lobby like a family that didn't know how to be one. Hazbin Lucifer didn't like sitting without being in charge. Lucifer Morningstar didn't like being told what to do. Charlie didn't like being in the middle. Vaggie stayed standing. She didn't trust either Lucifer fully. Hazbin Lucifer spoke first, voice low. "Vox is stirring the city," he said. "Overlords are meeting. They want to force a public choice." Charlie's jaw clenched. "The plaza thing," she said. Hazbin Lucifer nodded. "Yes," he said. "They want to make you pick a side. They want you to either reject him or become his puppet." Charlie looked at Lucifer Morningstar. "I'm not anyone's puppet," she said, voice tight. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze softened slightly. "Good," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed at him. "Don't encourage her," he snapped. Lucifer Morningstar looked back, calm. "Don't cage her," he replied. Charlie exhaled sharply. "Stop," she said. "Please, both of you." Hazbin Lucifer's shoulders dropped a fraction. "Fine," he said, forced calm. "Here's the point. Heaven's schedule is reacting. They moved early once. They can do it again." Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. "They can try," he said. Hazbin Lucifer leaned forward. "And if they do," he said, "they will use the ledger." Charlie's stomach went cold. "They can activate it from heaven?" she asked. Hazbin Lucifer's mouth tightened. "They wrote parts of it," he said. "So yes." Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed level. "Then we prepare," he said. Vaggie's eyes flicked between them. "Prepare how?" she asked. Lucifer Morningstar looked at Charlie. With consent, he said. Charlie swallowed. You want me to sign something again, she said. Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. Yes, he replied. Because if heaven uses the ledger to bind me, I will break it. But if I break it wrong, I could rip the boundary over this city. That would hurt everyone. Charlie's hands trembled. So we need a careful fix, she whispered. Lucifer Morningstar nodded. Yes, he said. Hazbin Lucifer leaned back, eyes tired. I hate that he's right, he muttered. Angel Dust whispered to Husk. I love that he said it out loud. Husk muttered back. Shut up. Charlie looked at her dad. Will you help me? She asked quietly. Hazbin Lucifer stared at her. The king in him wanted to say, I will handle it. The father in him wanted to say, I'm sorry. He settled on a hard truth. Yes, he said, but you do it my way too. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. Your way is control, he said. Hazbin Lucifer snapped. And your way is acting like no one has to live with consequences. Lucifer Morningstar didn't flinch. I live with consequences, he said. I simply refuse to pretend chains are kindness. Charlie pressed her palms on the table. Enough, she said, voice shaking but firm. We do this together, or we lose. The room went quiet. Even Lucifer Morningstar paused at the weight in her voice. Hazbin Lucifer's expression softened slightly. All right, he said, quieter. Together. Charlie breathed out like she had been holding her lungs for days. Then the hotel lights flickered. Not a normal flicker. A sharp, white pulse. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes lifted. Hazbin Lucifer went still. Vaggy's grip tightened on her spear. Charlie whispered, no. Outside, the sky over Pentagram City turned bright. A clean shape formed above the clouds. Not a tear like before. A grid, like a cage being drawn in light. Adam returned at noon. He did not come alone. He came with exorcists in a ring formation, hovering above the city like a threat you could see and measure. But the weird part wasn't the angels. The weird part was the light. The grid above the city pulsed, and lines dropped down like invisible walls. They didn't smash buildings. They didn't burn streets. They settled into place, quiet and exact, like a net being lowered. Vox's screens across the city lit up at once. His face appeared, wide grin, like he had waited for this. Hello, city! Vox shouted. Looks like heaven has an update! Charlie's stomach twisted. He's in on it, she whispered. Lucifer Morningstar's voice was calm. He is feeding on it, he corrected. Adam's voice boomed from above, loud enough to rattle windows. Surprise, hell, he yelled. We brought paperwork! He laughed, and the exorcists laughed with him. Then Adam pointed down at the hotel. The grid lines tightened around that area first. Charlie felt pressure in the air, like the room itself was being squeezed. Lucifer Morningstar's wrist burned. A ring of light snapped into place around it, brighter than before. It wasn't just a mark this time. It was a lock. Lucifer Morningstar looked at it without fear. But Charlie saw the line of focus in his face. Hazbin Lucifer's wings flared. They're using the ledger, he growled. Vaggy's voice was tight. What does it do? She asked. Lucifer Morningstar answered simply. It tries to write me into their system, he said. It tries to define what I am allowed to be. Charlie's mouth went dry. Can it control you? She asked. Lucifer Morningstar's eyes narrowed. It can attempt to bind, he said. Control is not guaranteed. Adam laughed again. You hear that, boys? He shouted. He's not sure. Vox's screens zoomed in on the hotel. Big moment, Vox purred. Is your guest about to bring heaven down on your heads again, princess? Charlie's hands shook. Vaggy snapped. Inside. Everyone inside. And moved fast, herding guests away from windows. Angel dust ran to help, pushing panicking demons toward hallways. "Move your butts!" he yelled. "This is not a drill, this is hell!" Husk grabbed a frightened sinner by the collar and dragged them behind a wall. "Breathe," he growled. "If you pass out, you're harder to carry." Nifty popped up, eyes shining. "Do we stab the sky?" she asked. "No," Vaggie barked, then softened. "Later." Hazbin Lucifer stepped closer to Charlie, wings angled protectively. "Stay behind me," he ordered. Charlie shook her head. "No," she said. "I'm not hiding." Hazbin Lucifer's jaw clenched. "Charlie." Lucifer Morningstar turned his head slightly. "Let her choose," he said. Hazbin Lucifer glared at him, then looked at Charlie's face. He saw it. Fear. Yes, but also decision. He swallowed hard. "Fine," he said, voice rough. "But stay close." Charlie nodded. Outside, Adam's ring tightened. A bright line shot down from the grid and hooked into Lucifer Morningstar's wrist ring like a chain connecting to a ceiling. The hotel lights flared. The air shook. For a second, Charlie thought the roof might tear off. Lucifer Morningstar did not move. He stared at the ring like it was a sentence he disliked. Then he spoke. Quiet. "This is not just force," he said. "This is structure," Hazbin Lucifer snarled. "That's what I've been saying." Lucifer Morningstar looked at him. "Then you know what I need," he said. Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "No," he said. Charlie turned to her father. "Dad," she pleaded. Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. "If I give him permission to rewrite the ledger," he hissed, "did I risk my entire realm?" Lucifer Morningstar's voice stayed calm. "If you do nothing," he replied, "heaven rewrites it for you." Hazbin Lucifer froze. Charlie stepped forward, hands shaking. "Dad," she whispered, "I need you to trust me." Hazbin Lucifer stared at her, like she was asking him to step off a cliff. Then Charlie turned to Lucifer Morningstar. "Tell me the truth," she said. "If I give permission, are you going to take over?" Lucifer Morningstar met her gaze. "No," he said simply. "I do not want your throne. I do not want your hell. I want a door that can't be slammed on people without their consent." Charlie swallowed. Then she nodded. "I give permission," she said, voice trembling, "for you to protect this hotel and the people inside it without owning them." Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. "Accepted," he said. The ring on his wrist pulsed, like the system noticed a new clause it didn't expect. Hazbin Lucifer stared at Charlie, then at the sky, then at the city. He looked sick. Then he exhaled hard. "I hate this," Hazbin Lucifer said. And then he said the words Charlie had waited her whole life to hear, even if they came out sharp. "I trust you," he told her. He stepped forward. He placed his hand over the ledger symbol carved into the hotel's front floor tile, an old royal mark that tied this building, this land, to his realm. "I give permission," Hazbin Lucifer said, voice loud and clear, "for a rewrite that removes heaven's leash from this place." The grid above the city pulsed. Adam's grin faltered. Vox's screens flickered. Lucifer Morningstar closed his eyes for 1 second. Then he opened them, and Charlie felt the air change. Not hotter, not colder. Cleaner. Like the world was holding still so a new rule could be written. Lucifer Morningstar lifted his marked wrist. The ring tightened, trying to pull. He did not yank against it. He did not explode it. He spoke, calm and clear, as if speaking to the system itself. "You may not bind a being without consent," he said. The ring flared bright, resisting. Lucifer Morningstar continued anyway. "You may not use a name as a chain," he said. "A name is not ownership." The grid above the city shook. Adam shouted, No! That's not how it works! Lucifer Morningstar's voice didn't rise. It is now, he said. The chain line from the sky trembled. For 1 second, Charlie thought the whole grid would crash down and cut the city in half. Vaggie shouted from the hallway, "Charlie, exorcists are dropping!" Charlie snapped her head up. Well, exorcists were descending, not all over the city, but around the hotel and the plaza, where crowds gathered to watch the broadcast. They weren't here to purge everyone. They were here to create chaos while the cage tightened. Angel Dust ran back into the lobby, guns out. "They're aiming at the people watching," he yelled. "They want a stampede." Husk cursed and kicked a door open. "Back exits," he barked, pushing guests through. Vaggie sprinted in, spear ready, eyes blazing. "I'll hold the front," she said. Charlie's heart pounded. "I'm coming." Hazbin Lucifer grabbed her wrist, firm but not cruel. "No," he said. "You stay here with him. If he fails, the city breaks." Charlie's breath caught. She hated being told no, but she heard the truth in it. She nodded, shaking. Hazbin Lucifer launched out the front doors, wings snapping open. Vaggie ran with him, spear flashing. Angel Dust followed, laughing a little too hard because fear needed an outlet. "Let's dance, bird freaks." Lucifer Morningstar stayed in the lobby, still facing the sky. Charlie stood beside him, hands clenched, whispering, "Please work," like a prayer. Outside, Hazbin Lucifer hit the street like a storm. He blasted an exorcist spear aside, then swept his wing to knock 3 exorcists off balance. Vaggie fought low and fast, stabbing ankles, knees, joints, anything that broke their formation. Angel Dust fired at wings and weapons to force them back, not to kill. Husk dragged civilians into alleyways and shouted at them to move like their lives mattered, because they did. On Vox's screens, the broadcast stuttered as the grid shook. Vox tried to smile through it. "Folks," he said, voice strained, "we're experiencing a small technical issue." Velvet's voice cut in, annoyed. "My feed is glitching. This is embarrassing." Adam hovered above, furious now, wings beating hard as he screamed, "Lock him! Lock him now!" The grid pulsed again, trying to tighten around Lucifer Morningstar's wrist. Lucifer Morningstar's jaw set. Charlie saw the smallest sign of strain in him, not weakness. Focus, like a surgeon holding steady. Lucifer Morningstar spoke again, still calm. "This clause applies to all," he said, "heaven included." The ring cracked. Not fully. A fracture line appeared like a thin lightning bolt in glass. Adam's eyes went wide. "Stop that!" he shouted. Lucifer Morningstar didn't look up. He added one last sentence, quiet and final. "Permission cannot be stolen," he said. "It must be given." The ring shattered. The chain line snapped. The grid above the city shook like a net losing its hooks. For 1 terrifying second, the sky over Pentagram City looked like it might rip open. Charlie grabbed the edge of the front desk, bracing. Lucifer Morningstar lifted his hand, palm up, like he was holding the sky itself. He didn't tear it. He folded it. The grid lines bent inward, collapsed into themselves, and vanished like someone closing a book. The pressure in the air released. Windows stopped rattling. Lights steadied. Outside, exorcists froze mid-attack as their weapons dimmed again, confused and angry. Hazbin Lucifer seized the moment and drove them back with a blast that sent them skidding across the street. Vaggie slammed the butt of her spear into an exorcist's chest and shouted, "Retreat!" The exorcists pulled back into a bright tear Adam forced open, dragging injured allies. Adam hovered in the air, shaking with rage. He stared at Lucifer Morningstar through the hotel's broken window. Vox's screens flickered back on for a second. Adam yelled into the sky. "This isn't over!" Lucifer Morningstar looked up at him, calm. "I agree," Lucifer Morningstar said. Adam bared his teeth, then vanished into the light. The tier sealed. Silence hit the street. Not peaceful silence, the kind where everyone waits to see what happens next. Charlie stumbled outside, breath shaking. Demons stared at her. They had seen her father fight. They had seen her protect. They had seen the stranger break heaven's cage without turning the city into rubble. Vox's screens came back fully. Vox's smile was forced now, but he tried anyway. "Well," Vox said brightly. That was, Lucifer Morningstar glanced up at the nearest screen. Vox's smile faltered. Lucifer Morningstar didn't attack the tower. He didn't shatter the screens. He simply spoke, calm, to the crowd. "I will not rule you," he said. "I will not save you by force. But I will not allow heaven to use paperwork to slaughter you on schedule." People didn't cheer. Not yet. They didn't know how to feel. Fear still lived in them. But something else did too. A small crack in the idea that the purge was unchangeable. Charlie stepped forward, voice shaking. "The hotel is still open," she said. "We're still trying. Not because it's easy. Because it matters." Someone in the crowd scoffed. Someone else didn't. That was enough. Hazbin Lucifer walked to Charlie's side, wings folding in. He looked tired. He looked shaken. He leaned down and spoke quietly, only for her. "I should have been there," he said. Charlie's eyes filled again. "Yes," she whispered. "You should have." Hazbin Lucifer swallowed, and for once, he didn't hide behind a joke. "I'm here now," he said. Charlie nodded, shaky. Vaggie stepped closer, watching Lucifer Morningstar like he was still a danger. Lucifer Morningstar met her gaze. "I did what I said," he said. Vaggie's voice was tight. "For now," she replied. Lucifer Morningstar's mouth curved faintly. "For now is all anyone ever has," he said. That night in the hotel lobby, Hazbin Lucifer and Lucifer Morningstar stood facing each other again. No cameras, no crowd, just truth. Hazbin Lucifer's voice was low. "You rewrote a piece of the ledger," he said. "Not the whole thing." Lucifer Morningstar nodded. "Enough to stop the leash from tightening around this place," he said. "Not enough to start a realm war." Hazbin Lucifer's eyes narrowed. "So you're staying," he said, like an accusation. Lucifer Morningstar looked toward the hallway where Charlie had gone to check on guests. "I will remain close," he said. "Not as king, not as father, as a boundary." Hazbin Lucifer scoffed. "A boundary," he repeated. Lucifer Morningstar's gaze stayed steady. "A door," he corrected. "One that opens with consent." Hazbin Lucifer's jaw tightened. "And my name?" he asked. Lucifer Morningstar paused, then spoke simply. "Call me Morningstar," he said. "Your realm already has a Lucifer." Hazbin Lucifer blinked, surprised. Then his smile twitched, half amused, half relieved. "Fine," Hazbin Lucifer said. "Morningstar." Lucifer Morningstar nodded once. When Charlie returned to the lobby then, tired, but standing tall. She looked at both of them. "So what happens now?" she asked. Lucifer Morningstar answered first. "Now we live with the consequences," he said. Hazbin Lucifer answered next, voice softer. "Now," he said, "we stop letting others write our rules." Charlie swallowed, then nodded. Outside, the city stayed loud, but the schedule had cracked. And in hell, a crack was sometimes the start of a door. The hotel repairs took days. Charlie painted over scorch marks. Vaggie replaced broken locks. Angel Dust helped carry boards, while complaining the whole time. Husk fixed furniture with quiet anger at the universe. One evening, the lobby finally looked almost normal again. The lights were steady, the windows were patched. The front desk had a new bell that nifty rang way too often. A new guest arrived. Not a big villain, not a famous overlord. Just a tired sinner with shaking hands and eyes that kept darting to exits. Charlie greeted them with her best smile. "Hi," Charlie said gently. "You can sit anywhere you like. You're safe here." The sinner stared. "Safe?" they whispered. "In hell?" Charlie nodded. "As safe as we can make it," she said. They glanced around, then flinched when they noticed Lucifer Morningstar sitting near the piano. His presence still changed a room. The sinner swallowed. "Is that him?" they asked. Charlie hesitated. "He's not my dad," she said carefully, "but he's helping." The sinner's eyes narrowed. "Helping why?" they asked. Charlie's voice stayed simple. "Because he chose to," she said. Lucifer Morningstar looked up from the piano. He didn't smile big. He just nodded once at the sinner, or like a quiet greeting. The sinner didn't relax fully, but they sat down. That, in hell, was a small victory. Later, when the hotel quieted, Charlie gathered the group for something simple. Movie night. No therapy circle, no speech, just people sitting together without trying to hurt each other. Angel Dust flopped onto a couch like he owned it. "If this movie is sad, I'm suing," he announced. Husk muttered, "You don't have money." Angel Dust grinned. "Then I'm suing emotionally." Vaggie sat beside Charlie, still watchful, but her shoulders were less tight than before. Nifty bounced on the rug like a happy spark. Hazbin Lucifer didn't stay long. He stood near the doorway for a minute, watching Charlie laugh at something Angel said. Then he cleared his throat, awkward. Charlie looked up. "Dad?" she asked. Hazbin Lucifer's smile was small. "Just checking," he said. Charlie's chest tightened, but in a softer way now. "You can stay," she said. Hazbin Lucifer hesitated. Then he shook his head. "Not tonight," he said. "But soon." Charlie nodded. "Soon," she echoed. He left, and Charlie watched him go with a mix of sadness and hope. Lucifer Morningstar approached the couch area, calm as ever. Angel Dust pointed at him. "You joining, Your Honor?" he teased. Lucifer Morningstar looked at the TV, then at Charlie. "Do you want me to join?" he asked. Simple. Charlie blinked, then laughed. "Yes," she said. "If you want." Lucifer Morningstar nodded. "Then I will," he replied. He held out a small paper. Blank. Vaggie groaned. "No," she muttered. Charlie laughed harder. "Oh my gosh," she said. "You are impossible." Lucifer Morningstar's mouth curved faintly. He wrote one short line on the paper with a touch of his finger. "I agree to watch this movie without altering anyone's mind, mood, or choices." Charlie stared, then shook her head, smiling. She signed it anyway. Lucifer Morningstar folded it once and handed it back like it was a receipt. Angel Dust clapped. "This is the weirdest family I've ever seen," he said. "And I've seen some stuff." Husk muttered. "Shut up and press play." The movie started. For a while, hell was quiet in one small building. Not because the world outside changed, because inside, a few people chose something different. Charlie leaned back into the couch, eyes on the screen, but her mind drifting. She thought about heaven's grid fading away, about her father saying, "I trust you," about Lucifer Morningstar choosing to stay near her dream without owning it. She whispered, mostly to herself, "Maybe this can work." Lucifer Morningstar heard her anyway. He didn't answer with a speech. He simply said, quiet and clear, "Asking is the point." Charlie smiled, small and real. Outside, Pentagram City kept being loud. Vox kept plotting. Overlords kept watching. Heaven kept writing new plans. But the Hazbin Hotel stayed lit. And now, when the sky threatened to become a cage again, Hell knew something it hadn't known before. A schedule could crack, a chain could break, and choice, real choice, could survive even here.